And tonight on the ABC News, OJ Simpson kills one more person. Oh my god, I can't believe it. OJ kills another person? I didn't know Minute Maid orange juice could kill people. I guess what happened here was that someone poisoned the OJ and, killed somebody. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time on ABC, the horrible news in the whole world. Thank you. Well, I hope you liked how I did my commercials. I'm gonna be a star. I've always been a star, I just have to go to Hollywood, and then I'll just, everybody would be like going, oh, I want your autograph, oh, I want your autograph. But anyways, see you later. Adios. Ciao.
Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, whoever you are, whatever you are, whatever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, however good it feels, however many times you're doing it, and why you're doing it in the first place, I don't know. I'm just glad you're doing it here with me, Legal Vices. How are you guys? It is Thanksgiving in the United States. Thanks to all of you for being here with me. We got 43 people here for Thanksgiving OJ. People will trickle in as time goes by, I'm sure, because we're here, we're having a holiday celebration with OJ. We're celebrating the end of the ANDREA MAZZOLA testimony, and we've got some things to do. You like the hat? It said nice hat, and by front says nice hat. But yeah, this was made. I showed you some of the pipe. Well, in fact, it was the guy that made this pipe here. This is the guy that made one of the Cthulhu pipes. Hang on, here we go. He's made a bunch of pipes for me. He's made a couple of Witcher pipes. He's made a couple of we can get into nerd streaming pipes one of these days. But this pipe is fashioned after the blunderbuss weapon on Soul. Anyway, Dark Souls things. Never mind. On Bloodborne, it's like it's called the blunderbuss. It was inspired by the blunderbuss in the Bloodborne game. So I got a couple of things. But his girlfriend made me this hat last year before. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yeah, it does. The pipe maker's girlfriend made this one. Finn, I'm going to have him on here one of these days, too. He lives in Finland. We'll have him on. He's a great guy. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving, so happy got a dingleberry on the hat there. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the United States. What did I do for Thanksgiving? Nothing really. Worked all day, bought some dog food at Costco, and picked up a bottle of tequila and some balsamic vinegar. Got up to the checkout stand, and because Costco only takes like one kind of credit card, which I don't have. I don't have their stupid brand of credit card they take here in Korea, so I have to use cash. I was like about a $1 short on cash. So do you put back the tequila or do you put back the balsamic vinegar? I chose wisely. And then I came home and had a couple of margaritas. So there we go. Balsamic vinegar can, it can wait. That's about it. No turkey, no chicken, no nothing. Just kind of a normal day. So what we've got going here, again, this is our weekly Thursday chill stream where we just kind of sit and chill, sort of MST3K style things, the OJ Simpson trial. This is the last witness, the last day of the last witness we're going to watch. It's week 15 of the trial. There's a whole bunch of more weeks to go, but we're kind of getting bored with this. We're getting tired of the OJ. This is episode 51. So what we're going to do is after this, ANDREA MAZZOLA finishes her testimony today. And then we're going to watch the closing arguments. And we're going to watch the verdict, and then Chandler and I are going to move on to a new stream. Well, where is Chandler, you might ask? She is not here at the moment. Don't know if she'll be coming or not. The headache thing was going, and gotta make my hat look nice for the stream. So the headache thing was going, so she wasn't sure if she's going to be able to make it or not. So just in case, we've invited a newcomer to the show here to sort of fill the space and to share the misery that is ANDREA MAZZOLA's examination. And that would be Ozzy Overlord.
I honestly thought you were going for an Ernest Hemingway look.
No, it's kind of a Finnish version of a toque or whatnot. But I could go. Yeah, it has that picture. I got to do the stash and put a shotgun in my mouth and all the other things he did.
Thank you, Black. It's nice to know that I'm close enough to Jafar for you.
That was actually my favorite mystery. Did you ever watch Mystery Science Theater 3000?
I did. I don't believe I've watched that particular one though.
This was Attack of the Eye Creatures, which was my favorite. That's my favorite all-time episode of MST3K. Attack of the Eye Creatures. Like literally says Attack of the Eye Creatures, and they started out saying they cared so little about this they didn't even proofread the titles. And there was like one scene where this old man is in this. He's just sitting down in his house and he's like polishing his shotgun. And like, meanwhile, at Ernest Hemingway's ranch in Ketchum, Idaho, and instantly became my most favorite episode ever. But anywho, welcome to OJ Thursday.
Yeah, look, usually people, this is what I'm falling asleep to. My insomnia has kicked in something hard today, so I thought I'd stick around and keep old.
You heard it here.
A little bit of
I make
company.
Hayden hard.
Oh,
that's because you didn't show your face. Anyway, you saw our intro. The young lady that did the OJ thing at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with that young lady?
I'm not familiar with that particular young lady.
You are familiar with this lady. Here, oops. That is a 13-year-old Ari Jacob.
No shit.
That's 13-year-old Ari Jacob on YouTube.
Huh.
Yeah, it was on some F at Friday. She's like, "Oh, you need this for your OJ stream," and she sent that. So yeah,
that's hilarious.
That was a YouTube video of her when she was 13 years old.
Oh God.
So yep. That is Ari Jacob at 13 years old. It's going to be sad when I hope she's done something else for this next trial we're going to cover, but I highly doubt it. So anyway, how are you doing, Hayden?
I can't complain. It's actually it's after midnight now, so it is Friday for me.
After midnight, we can let it all hang out after midnight. Sorry, Eric Clapton.
It's fine. No, I got some good regulatory news today from the Law Institute. So in 2018 I purchased a firm, and that's my regional office that I travel to a couple of times a week. One of the things that they have there that I thought wouldn't be so much of an issue at the time is they have files dating back from 1904. Yeah, they haven't destroyed a file in over 100 years.
I don't think you have to keep them that long. We only have to keep them for 3 years here in Korea.
Okay, here the ruling is 7.
Okay,
but up until recently, it was that you had to advise the client who owned the file that you were going to destroy it. Have you ever tried to get in contact with the executor of an executor of an executor?
Is your great-grandpappy alive? Is your great-granddaughter alive? Yeah, Jesus. Oh, no.
Yeah, but thankfully they've recently updated the rulings. I got news today that now I can just go through, make sure that there's no client documents in there, scan them if I want to, otherwise they're going straight through the shredder. So, I'm very happy. You wouldn't expect it, people, but this makes me extraordinarily happy because it has weighed on my mind for 4 friggin' years.
That's rough.
So that was my Thursday.
And Bifron says $50 says Jeff cancels. See, I was waiting. I waited like an extra. See, I waited an extra 2 minutes to see if anybody would take him up on the offer. Nobody did. I was just like waiting for a binding contract to be made, and it didn't happen. So all of you who could have gotten $50 from Bifrons failed. You failed in your duty.
See, I would disagree. I would argue that is an open offer to the world that anyone, including ourselves, can take up.
Well, neither one of us did, so, there was no acceptance on the part of anybody. Poor bastard. I could use $50 right now. Anyway.
You could have bought balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, I could have. But I could also do that with Jason J's first super chat of the evening. Jason J bringing the $2 heat. The $2 heat. Thank you so much. Been up since 5 a.m. cooking, and I get OJ. Do you like grok OJ? Like, I get OJ, man. I get him, man. I get, or you just like, you wake up and, I get OJ because I woke up. Or do you get orange juice? So many questions. But we're here to have fun. That's what we do on OJ. Hayden probably hasn't watched a minute of the OJ streams over the last year. Have you?
Not, like, lucidly.
So, yeah, we've got ANDREA MAZZOLA, who was the... no, she wasn't an assistant. She shut that door. She was the underling criminologist in Los Angeles under absolutely incompetent buffoon Dennis Fung. Dennis Fung was the LA criminologist who was mainly responsible for collecting all of the evidence in the OJ Simpson trial. Absolutely fucked up his job, just royally fucked it from square one. He was on the stand.
So he funged it up?
Exactly. Those jokes are fast and furious. I mean, literally, it has become, I mean, probably fallen out of favor, but I watched the OJ Simpson thing happen in 95, like the second half of my 2L year through the vacation and through the first half of my 3L year. So I was in law school when this happened, and that sort of became a verb to get funged. That's how bad it was. Like, you know, he really funged that lawyer, that witness, or that witness got funged. I mean, that's how bad his testimony was. And he was on the stand getting grilled by Barry Scheck and trying to save his ass for 8.5 weeks. No, it was 8.5 days, but it felt like 8.5 years. He was on the stand for 8.5 days.
Bloody
and
hell.
Yeah, and the cross-examination took the vast majority of that time. And he was so bamboozled at the end of his testimony. He was so beaten down and worn out. The defense's the prosecution's criminologist got down off the stand, shook hands with the defense lawyers.
Oh, shit.
And they asked him, because he was asked why he did that, and he said, I don't know. I was just glad to be off the stand. And so this is his, what I will call assistant, which she balked severely at. She was the next witness they called. And they called her, the prosecution ostensibly called her to sort of rehabilitate Dennis Fung. It didn't go the way they thought it would go.
Sounds it.
I mean, first thing they're going is they kept calling her like an assistant. And she's like, I'm not an assistant. We don't have assistants here. I was a criminologist 1. It's not an assistant. Okay, you were probationary. We don't have probationary thing. I was a fully qualified criminal assistant. She just refused to, and she refused to say that she was a trainee. Oh, she balked at trainee, at probationary person, at assistant. She balked at all of those words by the defense. And
okay. So
then they just went in and showed she actually
on her employment contract, though.
It would be like criminologist 1, probably.
Okay.
But as they go through, they show that she doesn't know what she's doing. She's leaving evidence around. She's dropping evidence. She's taking swabs from 3 different blood stains with the same Q-tip.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and famously they took they took the blood vial from OJ Simpson, put it in a black trash bag, put it in the criminologist van, the dark blue criminologist van, in the June Los Angeles sun, not in the refrigerator that's in the van, but on the floor in front of the refrigerator that was in the van. And they kept it there. Then they took it to the evidence processing room and just left it on the table all night long, not processed in, not recorded by anybody. Just, I mean, chain of custody was fucked, which,
Okay,
kind of,
see,
yeah.
we had something similar happen with a case here, but it was a civil case, and it was between McDonald's and Burger King. You don't generally expect this to happen in a murder trial.
Oh, yeah. And to make matters worse, thanks, Chad, for reminding me, Dennis Fung kept saying, I collected this evidence, I collected this evidence, I collected this evidence, da-da-da-da. And under cross-examination, it came out that he didn't collect the evidence. She did most of it. And this was her third or fourth murder trial. And it was like the biggest murder trial that anybody is ever going to do in their entire life. Oh, and so they're like, so when you said I collected it, you actually meant we collected it, or she collected it? He said, well, yeah, that's a quirk I have, that when I'm when I'm giving testimony, I say I when I mean we or she. That was his explanation. It was just a quirk.
It's not even like he was saying the royal we either. It's literally, I'm taking credit for what this girl has done. Stuff-ups and all. That's brilliant.
And so what this did for her on the stand is they just went through and they murdered her on the stand. I mean, it was just this savage beatdown. Probably worse than Fung. I mean, Fung was just punch drunk by the end. She didn't have the out. She closed the door to her being able to say, "Hey, I was just the assistant. I was just the trainee.
I was just opportunity to cover her own ass."
I just did what my stupid fuckwit boss told me to do. I think they knew that she was going to be that way, because that was the very first thing she shut down. At the beginning of her cross-examination was, I am not a trainee, I'm not a probationary person, I'm not an assistant, I am a criminalist one. So she shut that. But today is the last day of her testimony. She's been crossed and redirected and recrossed, and by Peter Neufeld. I mean, the Dennis Fung was beat down by Barry Scheck, and then Peter Neufeld is handling her. They're both the founders of the Innocence Project. Mm-hmm. Peter Neufeld looks surprisingly like Donald Sutherland in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So at some point, we'll be playing a clip. So anyway, here we are, guys. Thank you for putting up with that little bit of a background thing. It's time to jump into this here, because we got to wrap up Andrea Mazzola. And he had to apologize because he kept calling her Andrea Mazzola, because he's like a big New York Jew guy. And it's just like Andrea Mazzola. And he had to apologize, but he wasn't intentionally mispronouncing her name. It's just the way they talk there. So right out of the gate here, again, we had Jason J. I know we put this super chat up a million years ago, but we have to read it now. So this is our super chat. Ben Upson, we did read it, didn't we? Ben Upson's 5 a.m. cooking and I get OJ. That's what started this whole thing. But I would just want to say, this is, I know JKD Buck. No, I know you're not kidding. We're going to talk about that. Jason J.
Very upset.
Yeah, Jason J. You because you are the first super chatter. I'm going to say something here. This is Thanksgiving, and Chandler has been here for the vast majority of the 51 episodes we've done. She came in very early in the game and quickly became the co-host of OJ Simpson. She hasn't seen a damn thing from this. She's been giving her time freely for this. So for Thanksgiving, I just want to tell you guys out there, any super chat that comes in is going to Chandler. I will make sure Chandler gets the super chats that come in. So any super chats you guys give through today, we're going to give to Chandler Remington as a Thanksgiving Day present. So so Jason J, you're the first person to give Chandler Remington her super chat for the day. So anywho, I just wanted to say that's part of the Thanksgiving thing. That's the least I can do for Chandler, who is feeling under the weather today, who is not here, and has been suffering and giving of her time freely just to co-host with me on this. Anything that comes in goes to Chandler. So just keep that in mind when you decide whether or not to super chat today. And JKD Book mentioned that, like, in the world of law, there's been an earth-shattering experience. Hall and Oates, Daryl Hall has sued and has taken out a restraining order against Oates. The orders are under seal, so we don't know why Hall is suing Oates. We don't know why there's been a restraining order. What we do know is apparently from the court it was filed in, it has something to do with debts. So there you go. Hall has taken out a restraining order against Oates. More on that if we ever hear it, because how do you not comment on that? Mm-hmm. All right, let me put up a little banner here. So I bet now Hall Oates' kiss is not on Hall's list. Oh shit, that was a bad joke. But hey, whatever. Right, let's see. All super chats today will go to Chandler, Remington, as my Thanksgiving gift to her. All right. Ta-da! There we go. And well, do we have to, how do we scroll that? I have not put on the scroll function. There we go, scroll. We'll scroll that. And so, but you know, if anybody does want to give the $100 super chats, I will still do the drinks. She can have the money, but I'm having the drink. All right. We have our like and subscribe poll here. Today's like and subscribe poll. Mazzola is finished. Yay. I feel bad for her. Yay. She deserved the cross X. Yay. I survived the testimony. And yay. On to closing arguments. Those are your choices. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. All 123 of you that are here now with me and Ozzy as we celebrate Thanksgiving with OJ. And let's share the screen. And see if you don't believe me. Yeah. if you don't believe me, Daryl Haltz files lawsuit, gets restraining order against John Oates.
There it is.
We're not making this shit up.
And this is completely off the cuff and purely my speculation. I want to know whether or not Oates hit Hall with an electric guitar.
Well, it's under seal, so it's all about the private eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Hope he's not a man-eater, but he's clearly out of touch. All right, enough of that. Sorry. Shenanigans. All right, why did I... Wait, what? All right, looks like we have to bring up Mazzola again. ANDREA MAZZOLA, part 10. It's probably like part 80.
With the chat.
Is YouTube screwing with the chat?
Multiple people are getting booted out.
Boo.
Damn it, YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube sucks. All right, well, just keep coming back and keep giving those Chandler Remington super chats. I'm being selfless today. All right, let's do this here. Bring up Mazzola. Share screen. ANDREA MAZZOLA. Boom. Embiggen it. And but we need to put up our brand banner here, our overlay for this. Scroll all the way down to the end of the overlay. Boom. Here we go. There we are. We are set. Why is it so? Why is it so low down there? I don't know. What happens? Our overlay is behaving badly today.
Interesting.
Why is it so low? I wonder what happens if we bring up another banner. Let's bring up a random overlay and see what happens. Bring up the cut cage. No, we'd kind of be in the line of fire there. Let's bring up this one. Yeah, it's kind of sitting low in the saddle there. Oh, it's because of the banner. All right, got it. Whatever. We got the banner. The banner is more important than the overlay. All right, got that out of the way. Let's bring up Mazzola for the 947th time. I've said that. And get on with the show. Right, here we go. Let's unmute it. Judge Lance Ito.
Mazzola is again on the witness stand undergoing cross-examination by Mr. Neufeld. Good afternoon again, Ms. Mazzola. You reminded you were still under oath.
Wow, is that George Takei's like straight cousin or what?
Ms. Mazzola, for every stain that you
Oh my
collect,
God, look at that perm.
with a small plastic bag, is that right?
Correct.
And just as the swatches look pretty much like, these little plastic bags look pretty much alike also, don't they?
Okay, we're to the point here again. All right. First of all, as long as we're taking a pause to give a Chandler Remington super chat, $2, boom. Get well, Chandler. Thanks, Legal Vices and Aussie. Thank you so much for that. Deeply, deeply appreciated. It is also time for, you know what time it is. Everybody with earphones, everybody with earbuds, turn them down.
The jury can see it.
It's that time. All right, I hope your earbuds are down. If your earbuds aren't down, Hayden, trust me, you're going to put them down because it's Peter Neufeld time. There. Have to get that out of the way. He just looks so much like Donald Sutherland in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It makes me laugh. And Fun Dying, $20 super sticker. Thank you so much. Thanks for being you. Aw. Little narcissistic fat blue pear looking at himself in the mirror. That's me. Every morning. All right.
I'm looking now at People's Exhibit 163E. This is a coin envelope containing some plastic bags, white paper bindle. Inside the bindle, anything inside the bindle, ma'am?
Cocaine.
There's some white swatches.
See, like he's pointing to something.
And
Told you it was cocaine.
That is not how you set up a line.
Jonathan Smith,
those
love the
two white
content and
swatches that are
commentary
on the coin envelope.
through all the streams. Oh, thank you so much, Jonathan Smith. That is very,
Yeah, it
very
looks
kind
more
and
like
generous
3.
of you.
There's one on top of that one.
Okay. They sometimes get stuck together.
Sometimes.
All right. With the court's permission, I'm not going to pass them around. I just like to hold them up in front of the
We're just going to snort it.
I don't know how effective that's going to be since they're
And Unhung Hero, thank you so much for $2 for the handler fund. Get well soon. Thank you. Yeah, try not to sneeze. Yeah, don't snort it, and you won't sneeze. They're just swatches. Here's Mike pointing out these amazing 1995 CRT monitors. And OJ and Bob Newhart there on the left.
No, these swatches, these plastic
Hi, Bob.
bags can easily get mixed up.
Hey, good morning, Swan Lake Lady. Welcome to OJ Thursday.
jury can draw their own conclusions.
Would you agree with
They
that?
can jump
Yes.
to conclusions.
Would you agree that without proper documentation, it's easier for someone to tamper with them too?
Okay, now here, this is Andrea Mazzola. Flux says there is absolutely no question whose team she plays for. Chandler wonders how many birds live in the nest that is her hair. I just have one thing to point out to you as you watch this. Watch these close-ups on her.
Mm-hmm.
She does this thing that her nose is like a tapir. She has like a prehensile nose of some sort. It just moves really, really weirdly. And once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it.
I don't follow that question.
All right. Now, the next thing you did with the plastic bag was to put it into a clean coin envelope at the scene. Is that right?
Correct?
And just as the swatches in the plastic bags all look pretty much alike, so do the coin envelopes, don't they?
Yes.
And so it is the standard
Hey, it's a
practice of
Biggin
Los Angeles
raid.
Police Department to write identifying
Yo,
information
Biggin,
on each
thank you
coin
so much
envelope
for
at
the raid,
scene.
brother.
Isn't that right?
Yes.
And that is done so that one envelope and its contents can
Happy
be distinguished
Thanksgiving
from
to all of
another.
you coming in from
Correct.
Biggin. Hit the like and subscribe to all the YouTube-y things. Welcome.
And would you agree, ma'am, that putting one's
Biggin
initials
2, go check him
on
out,
the
everybody.
coin envelope at the scene is one way to identify a piece of evidence?
Oh. But we've pretty much been through this procedure.
Yeah, and she's been on the stand for about 4.5 days. The judge is pretty much
Well,
done
counsel, the
with.
jury already knows about
this.
this procedure. Proceed.
Placing one's initials alone on a coin envelope would not help distinguish it from another.
But placing one's initials in conjunction with placing the item number on the envelope will.
The item number is more important, yes.
But placing one's initials also enhance that identification process, correct?
Sustained.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, would you agree that, for instance, in this case, well, would you agree, Ms. Mazzola, that photo ID numbers can be used again and again at different crime scenes and different investigations?
Everybody, I put Big and 2's links
Yes.
down here in the.
So there could be more
could be
than
Big and 11,
2 coin
but, you know,
envelopes in the
it
laboratory
always looks like Big and 2.
having the same number, such as
Go check him out.
27 or
Go check him
35
out.
or
Love him.
110.
He does the
Yes.
he does all
And so,
the
in
trial
addition to
clip
placing
streams that we
the
watch,
photo ID
and he
number
does
and
a lot for
item number on a
the
coin
Law
envelope,
Talk with Mike, etc.
placing
Great guy,
the initials of
great
the person
channel.
who collected
Thank you so much, brother.
that item on the envelope is an additional way to individualize the envelope, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And isn't it a standard practice of the Los Angeles Police Department to retain for trial purposes the original coin envelopes used at the crime scene?
I don't know if that is a standard practice or not. I'm not familiar with that.
Can you see the end of her nose twitch, Hayden? It's like weird.
Yeah.
Did you ever
The
testify as
connective
a
tissue
witness
underneath the nose,
in a
it's
toxicology
connected to the
case?
top of her lip.
Yes.
So every time she says,
And
says
you were
certain words,
given
yeah,
a vial in an envelope?
that's weird as hell.
Yes.
She's a
And
taker.
when you would testify in court, was that same envelope retained and produced in court?
Sustained.
Would you
If
agree
she
that
unclenched
retention of the
a
original
telephone pole would
documented
slide
coin
out of her
envelope is
ass?
one way to document the beginning of chain of custody?
Oh,
Yes.
Now, on direct examination, Ms. Mazzola, by Mr. Goldberg, you denied personally putting your initials on the coin envelopes for the bloodstains that you personally collected at Rockingham and Bundy. Is that correct?
I believe I said something to that effect.
On August 23rd, 1994, when you were under oath, didn't you swear that for each bloodstain that you collected at Rockingham, you personally put your initials on the coin envelope?
How is that argumentative? How is that argumentative?
It's not. That
It
should've
was
been
sustained though.
Yeah.
On August 23rd, 1994.
Weird, can't super chat.
referring to page
You're out of money,
705.
Nicholas. I think we all need to try to see if we can super chat or not.
what line? Counsel?
I'm sorry. Beginning at line 2 and ending at line 15. 705.
All right, line 2 to 15.
Thank you. On August 23rd, when you testified under oath, were you asked these questions and did you give these answers, Ms. Mazzola? Question.
Yeah, there are
When you
problems
placed
with
the
chat.
plastic into the coin envelope,
It's not me,
you
it's
said you make a
YouTube.
notation on the coin envelope, namely the photo number at that point as well? Answer. It is labeled the photo item number.
Very
Question.
check.
Do you initial the plastic bag yourself? Answer. The coin envelope is initialed. Question. By you? Answer. That is correct. Question. And in each of these instances where you
Hey, thank you
collected
for
the
stopping in,
stain,
April. Hope you'll come
you
back, please.
personally initialed the envelope? Answer.
Yeah, please come back and
I
help us watch
collected
some
the stain.
trials and hang
It was
out.
initialed by me. Did you give those answers to those questions under oath on August 23rd, 1994?
And here's a deal. If a lawyer ever asks you, did you give those answers? Yes, is the answer you should be giving. So here we have her saying, yeah, I initialed all of the stuff I did, but then she's already said that somebody else put her initials on some of these things, which is not good.
Yes.
Yes. Finally, she answered the question directly.
Now, Your Honor, also page 768, line 16 through
Were you
18.
asked these questions and did you give these answers? Coming right up again. I bet. Oh, see, I was in law school, April, when this happened. I missed a good chunk of law school because of this. This was like I would say the first big fully gavel to
And
gavel
then again,
televised
on
trial
page
was the
768,
Menendez brothers,
Mr.
and
Zola,
this
the
came
same
on a
year,
couple of years
August
later.
23rd, 1994, were you asked this question, did you give this answer? Question, well, I'm sorry. You know the coin envelopes were initialed by you, correct? Answer, correct.
Oof.
Did you give that answer to that question on August 23rd?
I believe so.
I believe
Now,
so.
your initials would be what, AM? Is that correct?
Yes.
And when Dennis Fung would initial an envelope or item, he would initial it DF?
Yes.
So it was your sworn testimony on August 23rd that you and not Fung initialed the coin envelopes for the stains that you personally collected.
Overruled.
At that time, I believe I had initialed them, yes.
And at that time, ma'am, on August 23rd, it was just 2 months after you had actually gone out and collected the stains in this case. Is that right?
Approximately 2 months, yes.
All right. And would you, since August 23rd, have you been involved in other crime scene investigations?
Yes.
Approximately how many?
Haven't we gone through this already?
Yes.
I have. It's just a foundation to get into the next question, Your Honor.
Well, then ask the next question.
Okay. Isn't it a fact, Ms. Mazzola, that this crime scene on June 13th was your very first one where you were the primary collector of bloodstain evidence?
We've asked that question as well.
I understand. There's a few of these that simply lead into the next point, Your Honor.
Well, if we've asked them already, let's proceed to what's new.
Okay.
Ito's getting tired of questions.
Mazzola, between June 13th and August 23rd, isn't it a fact that you didn't do any other crime scenes?
I don't recall if I had or not.
All right. And wouldn't you agree, ma'am, that since this was
Gina,
your very first
none of
crime
us are.
scene,
We're just
you were
having
the
fun. It's a
primary
chill
collector of
stream where we
evidence,
hang out and talk to you,
that your
Chad.
recollection of what transpired is more vivid than it is after doing many more?
Oh, yes, this was her thing, too. Her memory now is more clear and vivid than it was 10 months ago when she was collecting the evidence.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Not going well for her on that front.
More crime scenes in the interim.
Oh, well, do you understand the question?
Not really.
Does this particular event stick out in your mind in any way because it was your first major crime scene that you collected the evidence?
Doesn't stick out in a major way, no.
Proceed.
The fact that it was your very first crime scene, Ms. Mazzola, and it was a case involving such notoriety, isn't it more vivid in your mind than are the other crime scenes that you have done in the interim? No.
Overruled. You can answer the question.
Well, it was not my first crime scene, and it is just another scene.
Ms. Mazzola, this was just another scene for you?
All right, counsel, we've gone over and over and
Ms.
over.
Mazzola, sorry. It was your first crime scene, though, where you were the primary collector of blood evidence, wasn't it?
This is the 5th time we're asking this question, counsel.
At least.
When you testified on August 23rd, Ms. Mazzola, you didn't first discuss your testimony with your superior, Mrs. Kessler, did you?
No.
But since August 23rd, you have discussed your involvement in this case in the presence of Ms. Kessler, haven't you?
Sustained.
Before you testified on August 23rd, you hadn't discussed this testimony with the district attorneys, had you? He went on to it, into it on redirect, Your Honor.
Counsel, that doesn't mean that we have to hear it for the 3rd time.
Okay.
Are you about to finish with your cross-examination? Do you have anything new?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, because the cross-examination is about to end.
At any time during the last 10 months, Ms. Mazzola, did your colleagues at SID tell you it's time to close ranks because they're under attack?
No.
Are you aware as you sit here today that any of your colleagues have been criticized for the way they conducted themselves in this case?
Overruled.
No, no.
Yeah, no,
There
that's-
definitely has been evidence
Some
that they
of them
suck.
have been talked about, yes.
Well, not just talked about, are you aware they've been criticized?
That's irrelevant.
Are you aware,
That's
Ms.
not.
Mazzola, as you sit here today, that there have been reports in the media that the defense in this case has criticized the SID where you work and the manner in which evidence was collected in this case?
Sustained. Jury is to disregard the implication of the question.
When was the first time that you reviewed your transcript of the testimony of August 23rd?
Maybe it's a month or so ago, maybe a little more. I'm not exactly sure when.
And did your supervisors at SID tell you that there was a big problem with your sworn testimony of August 23rd, that you personally put your initials on every coin envelope for every stain that you collected on June 13th?
No.
Did the prosecutors tell you there was a problem with your August 23rd testimony on that point?
No.
When did the prosecutors or SID supervisors first show you what they claimed were the original coin envelopes from June 13th?
I saw pictures of the coin envelopes at the DA's office.
And when was that?
Probably a month or less ago.
And when you looked at those coin envelopes at that time, when you looked at the photographs of those coin envelopes at that time, did you experience a moment of panic when you didn't see your initials on those coin envelopes? How did you feel when you saw those photographs of the coin envelopes that didn't have your initials on them?
Well, it assumes a fact, not evidence.
Subject to connection with the very next question.
Proceed. How did you feel when you saw the photographs?
I didn't feel anything different.
Proceed.
Well, these be marked for identification, Your Honor. They are one,
I'm not
two.
to object to those people introduced based on our prior conversations.
And there's Prosecutor Conan O'Brien slash
All right, we'll
Doogie
mark them
Howser.
by reference. Do we have photographs of them
Wait,
as
Conan
well?
and Doogie had a love child?
I don't know if
Probably.
I thought we probably do.
All right. We'll mark them by reference because the storage will remain with the LAPD. However, you may mark them by reference for the purpose of this hearing.
Should we mark them collectively as one exhibit? Next in order.
I don't know, because I think that we are going to need to refer to them individually when we get to the testing. So unfortunately, I think we need to individually mark each one of these.
Oh no, we have to individually mark the envelopes and
Mr. Goldberg,
evidence.
do you agree with that?
Well, Your Honor.
Oh, crap.
what we
How many swab
intended
envelopes
to
are
do,
there?
I don't know whether you wanted me to discuss this in open court, is simply refer to them by their item numbers. And that's the way.
That of
everything
itself
will be
may
connected
cure my
up.
insomnia. Holy
So we'll
crap.
have a third numbering system in this case, item number coin envelopes.
Well, I don't
Is
know.
that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, but it's an evidentiary item number system as opposed to an exhibit.
I agree.
item number system.
Yeah, we mentioned Bob
That's
Newhart at the
confusing me,
beginning.
So let's do that. Mrs. Robertson, we'll start a third.
Where have you gone,
Coin
Mrs.
envelopes by item number.
Robinson?
All right, and council will both sides stipulate that the coin number, item number, will be as written on the coin envelope for the purposes of the record. That'll make it simpler.
Yes, and I
All right, let's do it that way. Proceed.
also put further stipulation that in fact these are the original coin envelopes.
Well, I assume as soon as you start with the witness, we'll get that. Proceed.
I'm going to show you then coin envelopes with the following numbers on them: 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Eight
12,
envelopes.
14. I'd like you to take a look at them, please.
All right, these are the Rockingham item numbers.
Yes.
All right.
How the hell have you made it through 50 plus weeks of this?
Well, this is what killed us. Up until she took the stand, it was all pretty interesting. And once I start, I just can't let it go. So
Mazzola, what I'd like you
I
to do.
rode the plane straight into the ground with this one. She killed
this
my
time-
OJ stream personally.
Collect from that pile.
We
the
were
original
doing good
coin envelopes
when we had racists and
for the Rockingham samples
evidence planning cops and
that you testified to
incompetent
on
people.
August
Now we've got
23rd,
boring people.
You had put your initials on.
Oh, that's a shame. Did she leave her initials on your stream?
I object to that question on the grounds that it's unintelligible.
Sustain.
I'm sucked to have a judge tell you you're
I
unintelligible.
don't know to see the coin envelope.
Certainly. Counsel, I don't know that anybody knows specifically which item number she was asked questions about during the August 23rd hearing.
She was asked
So why
about.
don't you just go
Okay,
over
fine.
each one?
Ms. Mazzola,
Wait, did you just say that one of them got objected to for being unintelligible?
referring to
Yeah,
page.
that was the objection they just
705.
did there. He
Is Elaine in
objected
the
on the
court?
Your
ground.
testimony of August 23rd.
Eh,
Well, you asked this question, did you give this answer? Line 11. Just one question.
One question.
One question.
Question, and in each of these instances where you collected the stain, you personally initialed the envelope? Answer, I collected the stain, it was initialed by me. You were asked that question, you gave that answer, correct?
Correct.
Now, Ms. Mazzola, what I'm asking you to do is in that pile of coin envelopes that you have in front of you with the numbers that I just gave you, each of those numbers represents a different item number, does it not?
Yes.
What I'm asking you to do is to pull out the coin envelopes and with the item numbers for the blood drops found at the Rockingham property.
Is this your
That
code?
August 23rd hearing that I just read to you from in this case has your initials on them.
Sustained.
Ms. Mazzola, do any of those coin envelopes that have been produced in court today by the prosecutor have your initials on them?
These alone or
Well, I'm asking you about those. Those are the Rockingham, those have been purported to be the Rockingham blood drops.
no, they do not.
And in fact, Ms. Mazzola, whose initials on each one of those envelopes?
Mr. Fung's.
And
Uh-oh.
Ms. Mazzola, let's, for instance, take item number 11. Item number 11 you collected without Mr. Fung being present, correct? He didn't observe it.
Correct.
The coin envelope here that has item 11 on it, whose initials are on it?
not
Mr.
a-
Fung's as
Your
by-
initials, I'm sorry.
Counsel?
Mr. Fung's as the one who booked them, did the final packaging.
Ms. Mazzola, did you testify on August 23rd
Frontal
that for every stain
packaging?
that
What
you
would she know
personally
about frontal
collected, you
packaging?
put your initials on them?
It has. We've established that point, Counsel.
Ms. Mazzola, item number 11, he wasn't even present when you collected it, correct?
Correct.
Yet your initials are not on that envelope, is that correct?
Land the plane, dude.
Correct.
I can think of 3 or 4
Item
different ways you could
number
have finished this earlier.
7, and item number 7 was a stain that you personally collected on the driveway in front of Mr. Simpson's house, correct?
Correct.
And for item number 7, Dennis Fung wasn't present, was he?
Correct.
Would you please look at item 7 on this envelope and see whether or not your initials are present?
My initials are not present.
Item number 8, another item that you collected without Dennis Fung even being present, is that correct?
Correct.
Are your initials on item number 8?
No, they're not.
And are you saying that the reason your initials are not on these envelopes is because you didn't book them? Is that your testimony today, ma'am?
Sustained. Rephrase the question.
You said that Dennis Fung's initials appear on that envelope. Is that because he's the one who booked the envelope?
Oh, cheers.
He is the one who did the final packaging for that envelope.
Is it your testimony now, as opposed to August 23rd, that the person who actually collected the stain doesn't put his or her initials on the envelope?
Argumentative and also vague as to which case.
Overruled.
Back in August, I was under the assumption that I had put my initials on the envelopes, and I was wrong.
When
You were
testified
under
on
the
August
assumption
23rd,
you put
Did
your.
you say, I'm assuming that to be true, or did you say it was true, Ms. Mazzola?
It's argumentative as well.
A little bit argumentative.
Ms. Mazzola,
Just
in
a little.
response to the question as to whether you initialed the envelopes at the August 23rd hearing when you testified under oath, did you ever say, I'm not sure?
Overruled.
I do not remember if I said, I do not remember.
I'm sure your testimony just refresh your recollection.
Counsel, we've gone over it now. You've established the point.
You've beat her soundly about the head and shoulders with it enough. Please
Still
move
hasn't
on.
got. He
As
still
you
hasn't
sit
had
here
his,
today,
how to
it
say
is
the
your
magic
current
words though that I
belief
would want to hear.
That
Yeah.
Dennis Fung put his initials on these envelopes?
Yes.
On these, yes.
And the reason he put them on these envelopes is because he was the one who was going to book them?
That he was the one who did the final packaging for that item, yes.
When you say the final packaging, what do you mean?
Placing the
I mean, I'm
bindle
trying to use
containing the
semantics to
cross
get around
swatches
something
in the
I was supposed to
envelope
do.
and sealing the envelope.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
mean, exactly. I
was
mean,
the
I'm trying
envelope
not to
sealed on the
admit
morning of
that
the
I
14th,
collected it.
to your
He
knowledge?
wasn't there, but he signed the
I
envelope.
do not remember.
Mm-hmm. Therefore, the chain of custody is broken and it should not have been admitted.
Yeah.
Now I'll show you.
There's a lot of that in this case.
Sorry, group of envelopes,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
which would be following item numbers. Item 41,
See, Lucina, you got sucked into this trial. See? See?
43.
See?
Actually,
Thanks for sticking
before
around.
that, I'm going to focus a little bit.
And while he's focusing, we'll do this. Sebastian Muller, thank you so much. Can't believe it has almost been a year since I subscribed to you, Jeff. 7 months, yeah. For membership, thank you so much for that. I know you've been doing the memberships very, very, very religiously. Thank you very much. Oh, and hey, Ozzy, I just subscribed to you too, which you should. Everybody should subscribe to Ozzy. Ozzy Overlord, right there. Everybody should get over there and subscribe to him. And subscribe to Chandler, too, today, who's feeling under the weather. And as the scrolling banner says, all of these super chats will go to Chandler today to thank her for her nearly year service being co-host of the OJ Simpson trial. And we're about $50 away from Doggo Cam. There is that incentive as well, too. Just have to find out where the hell the dogs are if we get to that point. So, again, all the super chats that come in today will go to Chandler because she deserves it. And let's get back to our team.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Actually, if we make it to the 100, we can do double Doggo Cam, and I'll get the Labrador up.
Double Doggo. There you go. That's a noble goal there to get double Doggo and $50.
There were a number of drops that were collected at Bundy, is that correct?
Correct.
And they received photo ID numbers and item numbers, did they not?
Yes.
And the first item number would be 47,
Photo ID 112.
right?
Correct.
And the next one would be 48,
Correct.
photo ID 113, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next one would be item 49.
Ooh, no volume.
Correct.
All right, record reflect the witness is referring to her field notes.
And the next one would be item 50, which is ID 115, correct?
Correct.
And finally, the last one in that series of drops is item 52, which is 117, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, just going to take a look at these items.
I love that they've got one of the CRT monitors on its back.
Yeah. That's the
Now,
that's the monitor for the witness to look at, obviously.
Yeah. That's funny.
See, the sad thing about the courttv.com feed is you can't speed
this is all
it
you
up.
personally collected, the blood drop stains that became
Yeah.
items 47, 48, and 50.
There's no
Is that
speed
correct?
thing for it.
Correct.
Do 47, 48, or 50 have your initials on them?
That's funny.
Cosplaying as a laptop.
Laptops were barely invented at that point. I had one of the original ones back from around that time. The Macintosh
49
PowerBook 120.
All right, I asked you first about
Oh.
47, 48, and 50.
Oh, excuse
Do
me.
those three have
No,
your
mine was the
initials?
140. Yeah.
They don't.
No.
Now, items 49 and 52 have your initials, is that correct?
Correct.
And you're saying now that items 49 and 52 have your initials because you were the person who was there when the package was ultimately sealed for booking?
I am the one who placed the bindle in the package and sealed it.
And
I am
sealed
the
it?
one who seals.
And when did that sealing occur, ma'am? What day?
I can't remember if it was the 14th or not.
And they would be sealed for booking at the evidence control unit, isn't that right?
Correct. Well, evidence processing room, actually.
Well, that's what you would do the sealing, but once they are actually sealed, then they're taken over to the evidence control unit to be frozen, isn't that right?
To be booked in and frozen, yes.
And so to the best of your recollection, as you sit here today, you sealed items 49 and 52 on June 14th for booking. Is that correct?
Sustained.
Well, to the best of your recollection, as you sit here
Abstained.
today,
Round.
did you seal item 49 for booking
Yes.
She got thrushed.
on June 14th?
Nice.
I'm not positive if it was June 14th or not.
To the best of your recollection, which day was it?
I'm not sure if it was the 14th or the 15th. I'm not positive.
Could be one or the other.
Could be.
How about item 52? Are you saying that the reason your initials appear on item 52 is because you're the person who sealed that envelope for booking on June 14th or June 15th?
Correct.
So the person who collects it doesn't sign the evidence collection report?
They're supposed to. She's
So you'll-
she's screwed up.
This this trial here actually led to sweeping changes in
Now,
rules
up
and
until the time
procedures
that
for
you
evidence
saw
collection
photographs of
across
these
the
coin
United
envelopes,
States.
Didn't you believe
Bad
that
as
you
it
had
sounds, as
personally
well,
put
sure.
your initials on every one of them?
Like one glove, one item of evidence, only one swab per blood stain, please. Yeah, not three.
Yes, I believe so.
And so the reason you're now changing your mind as to whether you had in fact, as you testified on August 23rd, put your initials on each coin envelope for the stains that you collected, is because they're telling you that these are the original coin envelopes. Isn't that true?
These are the original envelopes.
And we have Joe
And
Choi
this
with the
attorney showed you photographs of these coin envelopes.
20-pound
They
super
point
chat.
out
Who
to
let
you
the
that
dogs
most of the
out? Hopefully
envelopes,
us.
contrary to your
We're
sworn
about
testimony
$25
of August
away.
23rd, didn't have your initials on.
$25 away from Doggo Can.
I do not believe so.
And did you realize that when the prosecutor showed you the coin envelopes, that if your sworn testimony of August 23rd was correct, then the absence of your initials on some of these coin envelopes could mean that the original evidence may have been tampered with? In your mind.
Sustained.
Well,
He tried to get it through with the, in your mind.
when the prosecutors showed you those photographs, up until that time, you believed, to the best of your recollection, that you had written your initials on the original coin envelopes at the scene on June 13th. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Would you agree, ma'am?
And Joe Choi, thank you for the
that
20
if your
pounds for the
testimony on
Chandler
August
Remington
23rd
Thanksgiving Day
was
Fund.
truthful and was accurate, that would mean that these envelopes were not the original envelopes?
Sustained.
Oh,
Regulation, Counsel.
I lost the opportunity to play the body snatchers thing when he actually pointed. I lost the opportunity. Damn it. Hey, Sheena, what's up?
Before you testified on direct examination, Ms. Mazzola, did the prosecutors tell you that they wanted you to testify at this trial that your August 23rd testimony was false?
Sustained. There's
This is not, yeah, sustained. Whatever you think it is, it's not. Why are you disappointed, KT?
After you left Rockingham for the second time, you said you
Why are you
returned to your
disappointed?
offices at Piper Tech. Is that right?
If you're disappointed in
Back to
me, join the
laboratory, yes.
fucking line.
And that you'd be arriving at about 6:30?
Somewhere around there.
And you brought all the evidence that had been collected that day into the evidence processing unit?
Correct?
And there are two entrances to that unit, are there not?
Yes.
One is a door for which you need an ID card to get in and out of,
Correct?
and the second entrance is a garage door, is that right?
It is a roll-up door, yes.
And for instance, if I were to enter the evidence processing unit with you, and you put up
yes.
your card to gain access, I would not have to put up my card to go in with you, would I?
No, you would not.
And if once inside, someone opened that roll-up door, then other people could come and go from the evidence processing unit through that large door, which is big enough for a car or a truck. Is that right?
Correct.
Now, you said that when you got back to the evidence processing unit, the items were taken out of the coin envelopes for drying. Is that right?
Correct.
And if they were still wet when they were taken out of the plastic bags, then there would be transfer stains on those plastic bags. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you preserve the plastic bags?
No.
No.
Were you trained to throw them out?
No.
Yes.
By the way, did you or Dennis Fung save the black plastic trash bag that you were seen carrying items out of Rockingham that afternoon?
No, I do not believe so.
And you said that you and Mr. Fung began to put the wet swatches into the test tubes. Is that right?
Correct.
And are the test tubes marked at that point?
We marked them, yes.
And the test tube was then put back in the same little brown coin envelope. Isn't that right?
Correct, corresponding to its item number.
And you do that because the original coin envelope contains the markings to enable you to identify the swatches you collected from other drops at different scenes.
Yes.
They correspond to the item numbers that are also written on the test tubes.
That was a yes, by the way. All right, so we have a little bit of a pause here we need to take because extremely happy Simmer, the $25 to bring us up to unlocking today's achievement goal, the Doggo Cam. So there we go. Boom. Joining us. Oh, now we got to switch back to the old view here. Boop. There we go. Doggo Cam has been presented. So there we thank you so much for that. All of this money again today goes to Chandler Remington for a special Thanksgiving Day gift for her, to share my thanks with her for doing this for damn near a year every Thursday. So there we go. Doggo Cam. Doggo's over here on the floor with the new camera cable that gets all points in the room. So there we go. Doggo Cam. Oh, we don't want to touch her because then she'll move. Oh shit. No, you're not allowed under the table. You have to perform. Perform, monkey dog. Perform for the people. All right. Oh, and there's the other Doggo Cam. All right, you guys got what you want. You got double Doggo Cam. Are you happy? All right, we'll keep track of them as best we can.
Release the hounds.
All right, back to Mazzola and her tape your nose.
Standard rules are in effect, people. For every $5 from here on, the doggo gets a treat.
Correct examination, but at least with respect to some
And
of the
Vices
blood
gets a
stains,
drink.
you personally remove the swatches from the plastic bags and put them into test tubes. Isn't that right?
Cheers for the $100 for
On
Chandler.
a few of them, yes.
And you processed that evening both the Rockingham and Bundy items at the same evidence processing unit.
Correct.
Did you place a sheet of paper on the table before you began to
you
transfer
take
the
a shit on
swatches
the
from the
table?
plastic bags to the test tubes?
I don't remember if we did or not. We might have.
Did you receive any training at the SID Mini Academy on the necessity of placing a sheet of paper on the laboratory counter before working with the different items?
For Mr. Fung's procedure, the swatches and envelopes were not in contact with the table.
Oops.
For the procedure that you utilized, Ms. Mazzola, didn't you have to actually use an item to scoop things out of the plastic bag?
I used a
She used a glass pipe. What?
glass pipette
Oh, pipette. All
to
right.
move the swatches into the mouth of the test tube.
Okay. And haven't you been taught to put down some paper just for safety precautions, just to avoid an accident of a wet, bloody swatch falling onto the table?
The swatches were never where they could fall on the table.
Was this exercise done over a table?
Yes,
And did you wear a pair of gloves for the removal of the swatches from the plastic bags?
I did, yes.
And did you wear the gloves for the same reason that you wore the gloves at the crime scene, namely as a safety precaution for yourself?
It's just a force of habit to wear the gloves.
And so do you have any independent recollection as to changing your gloves between the handling of each item that evening?
Independent recollection, no, I don't recall.
And the samples from both locations, that is Rockingham and Bundy, were processed in the same room at the same time. Is that correct?
I was working at a different table than Mr. Fung, and after a few, I just started labeling the test tubes for him.
Well, when you started working at a different table, were you working on the samples from Rockingham or Bundy as opposed to Dennis Fung working on samples from the other location?
We worked on samples from the same location.
And then the samples from both locations are then laid out on a carton. Is that right?
Correct?
And you would lay them out on the bottom of this carton until the bottom is covered with envelopes. Is that right?
Not completely covered, no.
Well,
Oh, no,
I
no,
mean, you
because
left
they've
some
never
space.
been in bed
There
together.
had to be some space left, yes.
and you said all the Bundy blood stains were put into a brown shopping bag back at Bundy. Is that right?
A brown paper bag, yes.
And a brown paper bag was used for the Rockingham samples as well. Is that right?
Correct?
One moment. Did you watch Dennis Fung do his procedure after you stopped doing yours?
I wasn't watching him constantly.
But were you watching him some of the time?
I don't want to know if she watched him while he's doing his procedure.
He actually would take the test tube and scoop it right into the plastic bag to scoop out the individual swatches. Is that how he did it?
He maneuvered the swatches from the outside of the bag rather than place anything in the bag itself.
Well, the swatches were still wet, weren't they?
Not necessarily wet, slightly damp, yes.
Well, some of them sticking to the sides of the plastic bag.
A few, yes.
And to get those swatches that are sticking to the plastic bag, did he use the tube to sort of scoop them
I
out?
don't know. Hangs upside down in
No,
a
he
closet
wouldn't.
at night. I don't know.
Manipulate the plastic bag itself to move the swatches down.
Is it possible that when he did this, that blood would sometimes collect on the outside lip of the test tube?
Sustain.
Extreme
The
happy
test tube is
simmer.
then placed in the coin envelope. Is the lip of
Jeff,
the
did you
test
get
tube
that bulldog
sticking
watch?
out?
No. Also, feed the
And
dogs.
the envelope itself is left open in the carton, is it not?
Thank you so much
Yes.
for the Chandler $5.
Has anyone at the SID taught you
Didn't get
that
the
when
$100,000 watch, I'm sorry to say.
that when blood on the test tube or on the lip of the test tube dries, it can flake or aerosol?
Sustain.
Have you ever been taught anything about the dangers of, or the possibility, sorry, withdrawn. Have you received any training at all about potential contamination which can occur as the blood dries in those test tubes when the envelope is left open?
Overruled. Have you received any such training?
No.
Then you left these envelopes in the carton in a cabinet in the room, correct?
Correct?
The cabinet's not locked, is it?
No,
No.
the cabinet's not
When you
locked.
left for the evening, did you take the clipboard, the clipboard with the field notes home with you?
No.
Ugh.
Did you leave them on the table at the evidence processing unit so you'd have them out the next day?
They were left in the evidence processing room.
Now, the next day, you arrived at the evidence processing unit at about 6:52 in the morning, didn't you?
I
Hey, I dropped the wrong stream, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, good thing I didn't point that camera in the wrong direction. That could have been awkward for me, huh? All right, let's try that again. There we go. That's what I wanted to do.
Can we proceed with something else, Mr. Newfield?
That could have been awkward.
This is Robertson 194A. I'm sorry.
Barry Shack smelling the flowers.
Ms. Mazzola, while they're looking for it, whatever time it was on the morning of June 14th, it was early, was it not?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And you left the laboratory around 10:30 to go to the print shed with Dennis Fung to examine the Bronco. Is that correct?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that you were at the laboratory that morning before leaving to go to the print shed for 3 or 3.5 hours?
About, yes.
Now, when you testified,
There you go.
Ruh-roh.
Get Doggo up there. Is she going to make the climb up to the chair? That's the question.
Nope, she's being lazy today.
Nope.
Ms. Mazzola, I simply show you, see if it refreshes your recollection as to what time you arrived. Defense exhibit number 1100.
All right, what is 1100?
Jim Malloy asks, as Danny visited me at, go check out Monday's Maritime Monday stream. She was here in the house with her husband. We did a Maritime Monday stream together. Go check it out. It's the HMS Wager for the Danny and Jeff joint stream shenanigans live in studio.
Didn't you and Dennis Fung participate in removing the swatches from the test tubes?
Correct.
And
There we
didn't
go.
you and
Climb,
Dennis
strawberry,
Fung
climb.
make a visual inspection of the swatches to assure that they were dry?
Yes.
And didn't you and Dennis Fung at that point separate the item numbers both from Bundy and Rockingham and be proceeded to make bindles?
The bindles, for the most part, Mr.
That's
Fung
only
was
part
working
one.
on.
Part
I
two
was
coming up on Monday.
filling in the DR number and the item number that he was assigning.
Ms. Mazzola, didn't you personally
Nicholas
prepare
Daroff with a super
bindles
sticker. Thank you so much,
on the
brother.
morning of June 14th?
The judge's tea is done.
We'll have to get a bucket of water for those things. Proceed.
Ms. Mazzola, this is a paper bindle, is it
That
not?
may have been an
is.
actual real
And
pager.
You create these bindles by simply folding up a piece of white
I was
paper,
thinking it was a fire alarm or something.
is that right?
Yes.
And then once you fold up
It
this
may
piece
have
of
been an
paper,
actual real
you then put the
1995
swatches
pager.
inside, and then you fold it closed, and that's how you hold the swatches. Is that correct?
That's all there.
Isn't it a fact that on the morning of June 14th, that you personally created these bindles for some of the items of evidence, for some of the stains in this case, and put swatches in them?
For a few of them, yes.
Not quite.
Yeah, we're kind of,
And when
Up.
you,
up and down from each other.
there was no
We're not
particular
across.
way, I'm sorry, there was no particular assignment, was there, that you would only do certain select stains and he would do other stains, was there? I mean, it
No.
was broken up fairly randomly.
We were not assigned which stains to do.
Your assignment, do stains.
And all you did that day is you and Dennis Fung simply divided up the test tubes containing these swatches, and perform these tasks at different tables in the same room. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Overruled. Overruled. Actually, no, sustained. It's not tests.
That's true.
Oh, for crying out loud, Your Honor, at least get it right.
In fact, what happened on June 14th?
Well, Yoda's
you
kind
and
of,
Dennis
strawberry's
Ronald
kind of the
simply
same
divided up
thing.
the
It's just
test
like a
tubes
furry
containing the
pet rock
swatches and began to process them.
or a furry pet lump of meat, one of the two.
I started processing, as I said, a few, and then after a few, Mr. Fung was much faster, and I started helping him.
When you testified on August 23rd, did you ever limit your involvement in this case to simply a few?
It's improper impeachment,
Sustained.
you're saying.
Did you put down a sheet of paper on the table at which you were working when you began to process the swatches on June 14th?
Yes,
And again, was that done to protect the table so no bloody swatches would get on it?
and to protect the swatches themselves, just everything in general.
Were you ever trained to change the sheet of paper each time you moved on to a different item number?
Nope.
The swatches never came in contact with the paper.
Ms. Mazzola, the individual bindles were right on top of the table, right on top of the piece of paper that was on the table. Is that right?
Correct?
And then you would have to pull or use some instrument to get the swatches out of the tube into the paper bindle. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
Is there any danger that any of those swatches could either miss that piece of paper that's a bindle and hit the table, or simply
1995, all we'd see is a whole lot of bush.
glance off the paper and hit the table? Is
More
there a
bush
danger
than there is in
that happened?
Australia.
No.
Okay.
Thicker.
So you would never change the sheet of paper between item numbers. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Overruled.
And you also wore a pair of gloves for this operation as well?
Yes.
But you were not trained to change your gloves between the handling of each item when you were doing this procedure, were you?
No, because the hands never came in contact with the swatches.
Why are you wearing gloves, ma'am, in the first place?
Good
Just
question.
something that is routine that I do.
Just wearing gloves is just something routine that you do. That's your explanation. That's what you've got. Just cuz. That's literally her answer. Just cuz. Oh dear.
You taught to wear gloves when performing this procedure, Ms. Mazzola?
I would do it whether or not I was taught or not.
Ms. Mazzola, were
That
you
wasn't the
taught
question.
to wear gloves for this procedure?
I do not believe we were taught to specifically wear gloves for that procedure.
Were you taught to wear gloves anytime you're handling bloody swatches?
A person does not need to be taught that.
That's not the
And
fucking
reason
question.
You have to wear those gloves when you're handling swatches, even if you're using instruments, is because there's always that danger that an accident could happen and a swatch could come in contact with your skin. Isn't that correct?
It's possible.
Well, isn't that the reason for the rubber glove, to protect your skin from coming into contact with the bloody swatch?
Sustained.
Now,
Ish. It was argumentative-ish.
would you agree that just as there's nothing special about the coin envelope and the plastic bag, there's
See,
nothing
this
unique
is
or
why
special about
she
a
should
folded
not
piece
have
of
shut
paper
that
becomes a
door
bindle?
to, she can't say
That's
I was
correct.
just an assistant.
That
She
without
can't say I
some
was a
kind of identifying
trainee. She
markings on it,
can't
they
say
all
I'm,
look alike.
a probationary period. She can't make those arguments anymore. She's got to
So
suck
you
it up
put the
and
swatches
take
that you
responsibility.
removed from some of the test tubes into paper bindles that you had created.
She
Isn't that
literally did
correct?
this to herself.
Correct?
And there were no photos taken of the swatches as they're sitting in the paper bindle before it's folded. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
And there's no notation by you in any document at that point in time of the
Otherwise,
number
her
of
answers
swatches
would
that you
be,
putting into each
I
of
was
those
just a
bindles. Isn't that
trainee.
correct?
They didn't
Of
tell
course,
me
you
to
would
do
never
this. They
direct
didn't
the
show me to do this. I
photographer
hadn't learned
take a
this yet.
photograph of the swatches as they're sitting on that bindle before it gets folded up. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
Do you know, as to your recollection of that day, were the swatches all dry as they were put into the paper bindles?
The swatches were all dry before they were put into the paper bindles.
Do you have an independent recollection of that?
If they were not dry, they would not be put into the paper.
That's not the
That's
question.
your standard procedure?
Yes.
Now, to your knowledge, have any of the swatches been mixed up and placed in the wrong paper bindle or the wrong coin envelope, either accidentally or intentionally in this case?
No.
Well, item 11 is a stain that you collected from a wire at Rockingham on June 13th, isn't it correct?
Correct.
And you collected that stain with a swatch, isn't that right?
Correct.
And you moistened that
There we go, moist. It's this. We got moist. It's the secret word of the day.
Today, Ms. Mazzola, that a technician employed by the California Department of Justice
We got
tested
moist.
the swatch that you put in the evidence bindle, and it tested negative for the presence of blood.
Sustained. Curious to disregard the implication of that last question.
Would you agree, Ms. Mazzola, that some swatches could get put in the bindle which has been incorrectly, accidentally marked?
No.
So you intentionally fucked up.
Yep.
Please tell me she did not keep her job after this.
Would you agree,
yeah.
Ms. Mazzola, that
Of course she
without writing a
Of
proper
course.
documentation on each bindle, there was really no way to identify these otherwise unidentifiable swatches?
Overruled.
The bindles were marked.
Marked for death. Steven
Now,
Seagal.
Ms. Mazzola, when you... Sorry, one moment. With respect to
Look,
every
it's
bindle,
OJ.
Ms. Mazzola, that you personally folded and packaged on the morning of
Time
June
finally get some screen
14th,
time.
didn't you write your own initials on those bindles?
On the bindles themselves?
Yes.
No, the item number.
Page 768.
But is that what's supposed to happen or what you actually did?
Questions. Here's my giant 3-ring binder full of questions and evidence.
Line 19.
Steven
Line
Seagal
22.
is Andrea Mazzola in Marked for
You got it,
Justice.
Goldberg? Proceed.
Ms. Mazzola, again referring you to the August 23rd, 1994 hearing when you testified under oath, where you asked the following question, did you give the following answer? Question. And you also believe that the bindles that you packed that morning were also initialed by you? Answer. That's correct. Did you give that answer to that question just 2 months after, or 2.5 months after you were involved in packaging bindles on June 14th?
Correct.
Will she initial my package?
No.
And that's because on August 23rd, when you testified in this case, it was your belief that you had in fact initialed the bindles that you had prepared the morning of the 14th. Isn't that right?
Yes.
It's a fact.
And the reason that you would put your initials, the reason that you would put your initials on these bindles is because you had learned that technique from watching other criminalists at the crime scenes that you had been present at.
Yes.
Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Just trying to help
And
you,
then you learned from
Mazzola.
these other criminalists, Ms. Mazzola, that whenever you personally create a bindle, you write your initials on the outside. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
You
And
didn't
isn't it true,
fucking
Ms.
did it,
Mazzola,
do it, did
that you
you?
were simply following the same procedure that you had seen these other criminalists use on the morning of the 14th?
No.
Isn't it a fact, Ms. Mazzola, that all the bindles that you initialed were put back in the original coin envelopes?
Flux,
On the
good
morning
morning.
of the 14th.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I did not initial any bindles.
You're saying that your testimony, your sworn testimony...
He's trying to
of
pick
August
Barry
23rd
Scheck's
is
nose.
wrong. Is that
Correct.
what you're saying?
Correct.
Legitimately thought you were about to say he's trying to pin the bindle on the criminalist then.
It's a fun children's game. We play at birthday parties. Luke Smith with the Aussie $4 for the Chandler Remington Thanksgiving Gift Fund.
I wish you can have one for that.
Well, you taught Ms. Mazzola that to demonstrate a reliable chain of custody, the original paper bindles created the morning of June 14th, 1994 are retained for trial. Have you been taught that?
Not really, no.
Have you been taught that by keeping the original bindles, the police can show that the swatches sent out to other labs come from the original bindle that the evidence was placed in?
I do not know that.
Did they send the bindles to Ozzy's
Were
lab?
you taught at any point, Ms. Mazzola,
Angel, did you get some bindles?
that
Did you get some bindles?
at trial, by placing one's initials on the original bindle, it can be identified by a criminalist as the same bindle that that criminalist folded and personally placed evidence in on a particular date?
I was not told that, no.
Which word do we hate more? One for
Told
bindles,
that one
two for
reason to
swatches.
Retain the original
Which word are we
bindles is to
tired of
refute
most?
an allegation
One for
that
bindles,
the
two for
original evidence had been
swatches.
tampered with.
No.
You've been told that the practice of saving original bindles is a standard practice at the Los Angeles Police Department.
I had not been told that, no.
Well, Ms.
69.
Mazzola, what I'd like you to do now, looking at the envelopes that are in front of you, the coin envelopes, I would like you to produce those paper bindles that in your sworn testimony of August 23rd, you claimed had your initials written on them.
Sustained.
Ms. Mazzola, when was the first time you learned that the paper bindles that the prosecution intended to introduce in
It
this
looks
case
like bindles
did
is
not have your
ahead
initials
slightly.
on them?
Sustained.
Ms. Mazzola, would you please now look through those envelopes and show this jury which, if any, of those bindles have your initials on them?
As I
Look-
had said before,
look
they
through
do
'em.
not have my initials on them.
None
And
of
you
them.
know that, Ms. Mazzola, because before this jury walked in here today, you opened each and every one of those coin envelopes, didn't you?
I had known that my
Yes or
initials
no?
were not on the bindles before today.
When was it that you first learned that your initials were not on the bindles, Ms. Mazzola?
It was some time ago.
Well, was it after August 23rd, Ms. Mazzola?
It was after, yes.
Was it during one of the prep sessions with the prosecutors that you learned that, Ms. Mazzola?
No, I do not believe so.
Was it one of your superiors at SID who first brought that to your attention?
No.
Then how did you
Was
find
it
out
another
about
employee
it?
at SID who brought that to your attention?
I do not believe it was another employee. who
My
brought it to
twitchy tape
attention.
your nose
Were
sussed
you
it
shown
out.
photographs of those bindles?
No.
One moment.
They're taking a
Who
moment.
was it who first brought it to
Oh,
your
that was a short
attention?
moment.
That the bindles that the prosecution was saying were the original bindles did not have your initials on them?
Overruled.
I had seen a few of the bindles in serology and they did not have my initials on them.
And when was that approximately?
I can't tell you approximately. I don't remember the
When you
date.
say you saw a few of the bindles, approximately how many bindles did you see?
I can't remember the exact number or even the approximate number.
He's not asking for
Well,
exact
there
number. He
was
literally
some
used the word
bindles.
approximately. Jesus Christ.
But as you know, Ms. Mazzola, there were at least
Was it more than 3?
30
Less
or
than
40
5?
bindles generated in this case, correct? By you on the 13th and 14th.
Sustained.
Well, would you agree, Ms. Mazzola, that there were more than 25
Flux had a bindle once. Had to get it
Bingo.
removed.
generated by bloodstain evidence in this case?
I did not count them.
Would you please take a quick look at your notes? Maybe that'll refresh your recollection as to how many bloodstained
That she learned
bindles
from
were
Dennis
generated
Fung,
in
how
this
not
case.
to answer questions. See, and this is the thing. This is what we talk about all the damn time.
Approximately
If you just
35.
answer the question once, it goes
You said you
away.
saw a few in
If you
serology one day, is
refuse
that
to
right?
answer it and you get
Correct.
asked
By the way, you're not a
57
science
times,
serologist,
it
you're
makes
a
it that much
toxicologist,
worse.
Isn't that right?
Correct.
Were you brought over to serology to look at some of the bindles that had been collected in this particular case?
I was not brought over, no.
Why were you looking at some of the bindles in this case in the serology laboratory?
Because I had gone over there to look at them.
And
Why?
had someone asked you to come over to look at them?
No.
Well, how did you know?
I have a
that these
little
bindles
bindle.
were
I made it out of
on the
clay.
counter in the serology
And when it's
laboratory?
dry and ready, then bindle
I
I
saw
shall
them
play. Oh,
as I was passing by.
bindle. I made it out of
mean-
clay.
How big is the serology laboratory, Ms. Mazzola?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Do you fucking know
it was
anything?
certainly longer than the width of this courtroom, the entire serology laboratory.
I don't go into serology a lot. I couldn't tell
So
you.
you went out of your way to go
Well,
there. Just admit it.
Would
For
you say it's
fuck's
almost
sake.
as long as this room?
I don't know.
Is it at least half the size of this room, Ms. Mazzola?
At least half the length, yes.
And there are many different workspaces in there?
Oh, what would you know about length? What about
There's
girth?
a main table down the middle, yes.
And that table runs the entire length of the room, doesn't it?
Not the entire length, no.
And there are workstations around the perimeter of the room as well?
I don't know if those are workstations or not.
Holy crap! She can't just answer a question in the affirmative.
Oh,
can
no. No, she can't. She learned that from her boss, Dennis
And
Fung.
Ms. Mazzola,
Clearly.
the bindles that you're talking about are about this size that I'm showing you right now?
Correct?
I'm referring to bindles in People's Exhibit 1630D.
Approximately inch by inch and a half, 2 inches.
And is it your testimony that you just happened to be walking through this room and you noticed that a couple of the bindles that were on the counter somewhere happened to be from your case? Is that what you're saying?
Got a late vote from
I had
Nonstop
seen
Mom.
them
Bindles it is.
out, people working, and I went in to see.
Well, did you go in to see because you knew that people were working on the bindles in this case? Is that the reason you went into serology?
I saw they were working on something. I went in to check out what it
'Cause
was.
I'm a nosy bitch.
You mean you had no idea that what they were working on was this particular case?
They work on several cases,
They
Oh,
work
Jesus,
on
answer the
hundreds of
question.
cases, don't
Shit.
they?
probably hundreds, yes.
And this is why the trial lasted 9 months.
But you walked in thinking that perhaps
The
they were
jury
working
was
on the
sequestered for
serology of this particular case. Isn't that fair to
262
say?
days, if I believe.
Yes,
That's what piqued your
Oh,
interest,
fuck.
I believe
isn't
I'm
it?
correct.
yes.
But you said
Yeah.
earlier that you had no
Like
particular
9
interest in
months.
this case, didn't you, Ms. Mazzola?
I had seen my colleagues working on it. I thought it was this case. I just went in to see what they were working
Yeah,
on.
I'd be pissed at
That's
this.
it.
And the
at this
reason you
woman by
went in to see what they were working
No
on
wonder you won the
is
case.
because you wanted to see work going on the case that you participated in, isn't that right?
Not the
265
actual work. I
days of
just was interested in
sequestration.
what they were
Who
doing.
were the colleagues you saw working on that day?
Oh, I can't remember. This was a while ago.
Well, was this this is after August 23rd, though, correct?
Correct.
And you don't remember which serologists were working on it that day?
The probative value of this line of questioning, I think, has been exhausted.
That's judge
I
talk
agree
for
with you, Your Honor.
shut up.
Ms. Mazzola, but
Move
needless to
on.
say, they were not working. I'm sorry, how many different bindles did you say were created in this case? Was it 35 or thereabouts?
Those,
Overruled.
You testified a moment ago to a certain number, and I don't recall the number. Could you
Those-
remember?
those were the number of the item numbers with red stains that were picked up.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that simply from...
Blink, Marcia, show
since
you're
Fung
human.
collected many of these bindles, or
Don't let them know
many of
you're a
these bindles,
vampire.
You made some of the bindles, that just seeing some bindles not having your initials on them would not necessarily be surprising, would it?
See, Lucina, you can't leave, can
Yes.
I mean, accepting your testimony on August 23rd, one would expect to see your initials on some of the
you?
bindles.
You just get caught
and
up in
Dennis
it.
Fung's initials on other bindles, correct?
Correct.
So
should
simply
have been in
seeing
bed
Dennis
2 hours
Fung's
ago, I'm still
initials on
here.
some bindles that they were working on in the serology laboratory on a date after August 23rd did not cause you any alarm, did it?
Sustained. Counsel, we've covered this area.
Ms. Mazzola, did you realize at some point that based on your August 23rd testimony, that if the prosecutors could not produce the original bindles that you claimed you had initials, that could be devastating?
Oof.
Sustained. Curious to disregard the implication of that question. All right, counsel, we're going to take a 10-minute.
I'm sure.
You're through?
Yes.
All right. We're still going to take a 10-minute recess.
And here we go. Only
conclude with
50
Mr.
more
Goldberg.
minutes of Mazzola testifying.
to finish this
If
with
you
you
need to leave at any time, Ozzy, please
All
feel
right,
free.
gentlemen, we'll take a
You're not as
10-minute
hostage as
recess.
she
Remember
is.
all my admonitions to you. Ms. Mazzola, you may step down. We'll reconvene in 10 minutes.
I love you
3
here.
a.m. or 1:45. I'll
Let
stick
the
around
record
for
reflect
another
We've now
15.
been rejoined by all the members of our jury panel.
Cool. All right.
Ms. Mazzola
Thank
is
you.
again on the witness stand. Ms. Mazzola, good afternoon again, and you were reminded you were still under oath. And Mr. Goldberg, you may commence and conclude your redirect examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't think it'll be too long, hopefully. Good afternoon, Ms. Mazzola.
Good afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Mazzola, as to the coin envelopes that you were asked about on cross-examination by the defense attorney,
I'm going to ask you
Did
some
you
ineffective
open up
redirect.
and look in every single one of these coin envelopes today?
Yes,
And where did you do that?
here in the courtroom,
Who was present when you did that?
prosecution and the defense,
Was this something that was done on the record but outside the presence of the jury?
correct?
And did you take a look at the the bindles that were in each one of those coin envelopes?
Correct.
When you did that, did you recognize the bindles in each one of the coin envelopes?
I recognize them as to the item numbers.
Did you recognize the writing on the numbers as being either yours or Dennis Fung's?
For the item numbers, yes.
And on many of them, did you recognize Dennis Fung's initials?
I don't remember if I saw his initials or not.
Okay, let's take one of these items as an example. Item number 47, if I may. I'm not going to go through all of these now, but I'd like her just to
Well, thank you.
remove from item
And while they're doing
47.
that, just a reminder that all super chats today go to thank Chandler Remington for her selfless service during the last year of covering the OJ Simpson trial. So anything you super chat will be transferred directly to her. I will even cover the 30% that YouTube takes out. So she will get the full value of your super chats.
Your Honor, did you want to have her put something down on the court? So
Please, why don't you clear that box off, Mr. Goldberg, for us? There's
It puts the gloves on her. It gets the hose again.
Hand me the towels.
Chandler is feeling under the weather, Flux. So I'm rewarding her for her yearly service with giving her all of the super chats that come in today as thanks for her service and her volunteering to wake up at like ass early. She usually wakes up at like 4:30 or 5 a.m. to do these streams. So she's been unrewarded throughout the year, so I want to do something special for her here on Thanksgiving. So she gets all of the super chat dollars that come in, and as I said, I'll even make up the 30% that YouTube
Item
takes out.
47, evidence item 47 appears to be comprised of 3 coin envelopes stapled together.
So give generously, folks. A lot. Well, actually, they just did one recross, one redirect, but they kind of mixed. It was confusing what they did. It seemed like it was more. Lynn Barry with the 10 pounds. That's 2 doggo treats for Angel. Thank you so much for sending the 10 pounds.
maybe you can just hold that up for the jury so that they can see it.
The high-tech Swiss Army knife.
Ms. Goldberg, you have to stand back.
This is a feminine hygiene
Now,
product.
this appears to have quite a bit of writing on it. Did it have all that writing on it when you created the bindle initially?
No,
Can you tell us what writing was on it at the time that the bindle was originally created?
on this particular bindle, the number 112 and the initials DF.
The mods get
And do you
nothing.
recognize that to be Dennis Fung's initials?
Yes,
And we will be doing a very moddy Christmas stream coming up in a few weeks where all the mods can join and you can talk to them, get to meet them, etc., etc.
The question was, do you recognize
And
Dennis Fung's initials?
later, rapper.
All right, that's where it stands.
And when you and Mr. Fung were processing these, was it his, was he writing on the bindles that he was creating and you were writing on the bindles that you were creating?
at the time I thought I was writing on the bindles I was creating.
I mean, the item number.
Oh, the item number? Yes.
And when you went through these various items, did you recognize them to be the original bindles that were created by you and Mr. Fung.
Holy shit! We've somehow picked up.
That's a question.
On the 14th.
We've picked up 11 subscribers since we started.
you
We usually
recognize them?
lose 11
Yes.
subscribers during the OJ stream. What the hell
No,
happened?
maybe you can replace
thanks.
number 47 into that corner.
Thanks, Biggin. I hope this is up. If Biggin, if you're still here, and if this has anything to do with
Placing
you,
the
I love
bindle
your
back
chat. You
into
guys are awesome.
the coin envelope.
Holy shit! Wow. Yeah, I usually
Before we
lose like
move to
11
the
on
next
OJ Day.
bindle in item number 47, do you see the original coin envelope into which the item was placed on the 13th when it was collected?
Yes.
Can you hold that up so the jurors can see?
112. Give it a whirl.
All right. Is the actual writing on that important? On the face of that? I'm not sure the
Yeah, well,
1492 can see
maybe
that.
we should put that on the Elmo. Can you just attach that from the other coin envelope?
Elmo
so
doesn't
I
want to be put upon.
don't heat up the remaining items.
Oh yeah, and like and subscribe too, and also make sure you subscribe to Aussie Overlord. Hayden needs the subscribers as well because YouTube is assho. Everybody subscribe to Angel and Hayden.
Okay, this is the original coin envelope into which item number 47 was placed
Yes.
when it was swatched at the scene on June 13th.
Correct.
And you were asked about photo documenting these items. Was this particular coin envelope photo documented in any way on the 13th?
Hey Karen
Yes,
G,
it
I'm,
was.
well, I'm
How
I'm
was
glad
that?
you love my channel too. If this is your
Particular
first
coin
time,
envelope,
this is just a pure chill
photo
stream we
item
do every
112
Thursday.
was the
We do
actual photo
semi-serious
ID card
stuff the other
at
days.
the scene, or item 112.
Semi-serious.
So if we looked at the photograph for item number 47 that was taken at the Bundy location, we would actually see this photo ID number 112.
Correct.
And why is this particular coin envelope folded?
Because it was folded to be used as the actual photo ID card.
And have you recognized when you looked at the photo ID numbers that were placed on the Bundy Trail, for instance, were you able to recognize that those were in fact the coin envelopes into which the items were?
Oh yes, there's a fun little fact for you, Hayden. A great deal of the evidence numbers they weren't numbered according to in the order in which they were collected. A great deal of them they were given the same number as the photograph taken of them. So the photo ID is the evidence item number in a lot of places.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's weird.
Placed.
Yes.
Now, at the upper portion of this coin envelope, there's something that says DR, and then there's a number on it. What's that?
Yeah, Rapper, you're actually
That
correct.
is the
Probably
DR
nobody
number
does
that
care.
is-
Me least of all.
Assigned to each particular case, scene, sample that we get into toxicology.
And was that assigned and put on this when they were processed on the 14th?
No, that is bought usually by the detectives that are in charge.
Okay. And the item number 47, when is that placed on the envelope?
That is the property ID number that was placed on this particular one would be on the 14th.
And the 112 was placed at the scene?
The 112 was placed at the scene.
Your Honor, I'd like to take a look at another exhibit that's already marked.
My Mini
as
67.
People's 48B.
I only come and watch because of
Identification.
Chandler.
I
I
put it
know
up
nobody comes here because of
inside.
me. That's why I brought Hayden here to fill in the gap. And it helps with my afternoon nap. Again, I apologize for having to turn on the 5-minute subscribers only thing. Bot.
Directing your attention to people's 48B.
And thank you so much, My
What
Mini.
is that?
That is item
Thank you for
112.
contributing £5 to the
And can we
Chandler
alternate
Remington
now back
Thanksgiving
to
Day
the,
Thank You
coin
Fund.
envelope, Item 48. Maybe we can just do that a couple more times. Is that possible?
Enhance. Oh, Leafy Fifi Foo, you can take my poll anytime.
We can put those. Can we put those next? To Thanks.
Brandon hasn't been around for a while. He's off on other tubes doing other tubey things. He might find his way back this way again some point. Oh, Jinver, you're so sweet. For Chandler and Angel, Chandler will get it. Sorry, Angel, you get the treats.
47 and
treats.
the photograph that depicts a card number 112.
Then you can give Nick money to fat shame your dog.
Yes, they are.
When you got back to the laboratory, the item number 47 and the photo ID was added.
Wow, Green Goblin doing
And then
the
the
serious
DR number.
5-minute member just to
Right, thank
drop the bots. Those are some dedicated bots.
Now, at the time that you testified at the Griffin hearing, you were under the impression that you had initialed the coin envelopes and the bindles. Excuse me, the coin envelopes in the field. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I know we discussed this a little bit on direct examination, but why is it that you believe that to be the case?
Because at the previous scene that I had done, my first scene, that is the way the criminalists at that scene did it.
Okay, and why is it that you did not do that in that particular way on the 13th?
Because Mr. Fung said we would be working as a team. There was only two of us, and it had to be picked up by either one of us.
And similarly, you believed at the time of the Griffin hearing that you had initialed the coin envelopes that you created. Is that correct?
Correct.
Why did you believe that?
Because, again, that was the way it had been done at the first scene I had gone to, and I believe that I had done it on the 13th.
All right. And is it your understanding, based upon your training as a criminalist, that what individualizes the bindles in the coin envelopes is the handwriting number that is placed on by the criminalist at the time that they're created? What is your understanding as a criminalist with respect to what individualizes the bindles that are created by the criminalist?
Oh, Jeff, what do you know? Sheep dip blended whiskey. Some
item
reviewers love it,
numbers
some hate it. I've never had
That
it.
are important.
It's
because
a
the item
blend of
number
16
on the
different
bindle
whiskeys.
Ties it to the item number
But I've
of,
never had it.
say, the blood stain that was collected.
Okay. Now, maybe we can take a look at the other bindle that's contained in item number 47.
Cut it with a knife. Cuts like a knife.
Yeah, this one's from Puddingway. Say thank you.
Puddingway with 10 euros. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving, Chandler and Jeff. I'll make sure she gets your Thanksgiving thanks. Thank you, Jeff, Hayden, and the doggos for today's chill stream. Enjoy the treats, Angel. Yum, 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 yum. Some numbers for the biggie dogger.
Maybe you can hold that one up for the jury.
Still trying to figure out that watch is. It looks like a Tissot moon phase watch she's wearing.
It's a little hard to see.
Okay, number 2.
And again, has
And
anyone
does that
ever
have
wondered
some
why
writing on it?
Yes, it
why
does.
the audio
What
equipment
writing
in the
is that?
court was so much better
It
in
has
1995 than it is in
several initials, some
2023?
dates,
Isn't that a scary
and
thought?
112C.
Okay, and is the 112C what was placed on there by Mr. Fung on the 14th?
Yes, it was.
Objection as to what was placed on by Mr. Fung.
Sustain, phrase the question.
Well, you and Mr. Fung were working on these together, is that correct?
Correct.
Whose 112C is that?
Objection, Your Honor. That's
Sustained.
improper foundation.
Do you recognize Mr. Fung's writing?
Somewhat.
And were you there when these were created?
Yes.
Do you recognize whose writing is on that 112C?
It is not mine. It is Mr. Fung's.
Objection
She was
as to
there
what
when the world was created. Wow, that was a good question. That was a good
Now,
answer.
the other writing that was put on there, was that at some subsequent time by other people?
Yes.
No foundation for that. Answer stricken, juries to disregard.
Well, did you see that writing being
Oh,
put
come
on there?
on. The
No.
bell's rung, it's not getting
Thank you. You
unrung.
can replace that item. And at the time that you were working on them, was any of the other writing on other than the 112C?
No.
Thank you. You can replace that item.
Sup, Danielle?
Seals.
She doesn't have any seals.
All right, with regards to this item 112, I'll direct Mrs. Robertson to reseal, restaple and reseal.
Take the gloves off. There we go. You will come here for your prostate exam. Nurse Ratchet. Wearing her
As to the
sensible,
writing that was on the
big-shouldered,
bindle, did you
talking
recognize
heads
any of
burning
that as
down the
being
house,
writing
loose-fitting
from other
90s
people in your
suit.
laboratory?
excruciatingly large shoulder
I
pads.
believed I recognized a few of the initials.
Hi, other Danielle.
Was there any writing on the
Two of
item
the
that
three
appeared to
Danielles
be
have
from
checked
people
in.
that were from an outside lab that you did not recognize?
Staying.
There's 3 Danielles now? Last I heard there was 2.
Yes,
Has she-
there's 3
have you
Danielles
replaced
now.
those?
Yes, you
Damn, it's been a long time since we've actually done just a stream, you and I.
Yes, there's tall, small D Danielle,
Now,
short, big D
you
Danielle,
say
and
that
then non-mod
at one
Danielle.
point you went into the serology laboratory and saw some of the bindles that you and Mr. Fung created in this case.
Correct.
Are you allowed as a criminalist?
Objection, Your Honor, as to the last portion of the question. It assumes facts, not in evidence.
Hold on.
Are you allowed into the serology laboratory?
Yes.
You have access to that as a
Yeah,
criminalist?
no more
Yes.
double D's. We're into the
Are
triple
people who
D's
work
now.
in serology your colleagues?
Yes.
Do you know, are you on a friendly basis with those people?
Yes.
Is there any lab policy or rule that prohibits you from going into serology and talking with colleagues?
No.
When you brought the items back
Doug's
from
doing
the
his best
Bundy
to
and
try and
Rockingham
walk back the fact that
location
it's
on the
sus that
evening
she
of
went in there on her
the 13th, how did you get into the evidence processing room?
She kicked the door in.
I believe one of us entered the evidence processing room and opened the large outer door.
Can you open the large outer door from
We're
the
30 minutes from the end of
exterior
Andrea
facility?
Mazzola.
We cannot.
So you have to go in and go through the evidence processing room first?
Correct.
What is this large outer door in the evidence processing room?
It's a large, heavy-duty metal door that
Heavy metal.
is electric that can be rolled up.
What a great movie. Have you seen
to
Heavy
gain
Metal,
access to the
Hayden?
room.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
What a great
And
movie.
when you went in through the large metal doors, did you bring the items with you, you and Mr. Fung?
That is how we brought them into the room, yes.
Did anyone else go in there with you?
No.
Is it possible that maybe some person ran in there and snuck into the evidence processing room and then hid until you and Mr. Fung
Awesome.
left?
Objection, leading inspector.
Objection, leading and speculation.
Well, did you see anyone
Ed?
scurry into the room and
Scurry?
hide, waiting for you and Mr. Fung to leave?
No.
All right. And when you left the evidence processing room, were the
It'd be
doors
funny if she
closed
said
The
yes.
door was closed
and locked?
and locked. Yes.
Now, in order to get into this door in the evidence processing room, do you need any kind of key or electronic device?
She dimension walked.
It's operated by a computer lock. We have an ID card that we must put over the lock for the door to unlock.
I wanted to take a look at the evidence
Hey,
drawing.
we have a
evidence,
Yoda sighting.
Drawing board.
What's up, Yoda?
He's licking the glass.
What's up, Yoders? Yoda behind the glass. Gelfling? Sorry, that wasn't a very good Augur voice. Oh well, apologies.
All right, it's
I think it's
3:02 in the morning. I'm gonna have to tap out.
170 right.
You're gonna tap out.
I'm gonna have to because I still got to get up and do stuff tomorrow. So I shall give Angel one final treat because I think that. Actually, I think that was a freebie, but anyway.
Well, while you do that, before you tap out, we have. Oh, hey, what's up, Angel?
Angel, look at the camera. Look at the camera. He's beautiful. Yeah.
we have a question for you. Now, chat. No spoilers. Let's see. This is from another. He's not in the courtroom today, but we have in the courtroom occasionally this man over here with the skunk stripe in his hair. Wait, what's happened?
Skunk stripe in his hair.
Wait. Oh no! Help. Right. Well, it seems that.
His voice is frozen? Did I freeze?
Hello. That's not supposed to happen, is it?
No. Now there were two of you.
Yeah. Wow. All right. You're not here. This is the I think we seem to have overloaded the camera with awesomeness. All right. Let's see. Bring up my doggers. Extra camera. Dog. Wow, that was kind of odd. We had a crash there. Edge crash. It's enough edging. No more edging today. All right. Let's see. As I was going to show, we have. Oh, Oh, it just shut down the whole damn thing. Well, that's awesome. For fuck's sakes. Well, hang on here, Hayden. We got to do something before you leave.
Okay.
And to do that, I have to go back into the stream here and watch the collapse of my stream. Let's see. I guess we're not gonna get the collapse of the stream. Well, son of a bitch. I wonder how Inception-y I can make this. No, it's not gonna work. Did you see the skunk-haired man in the video that I was telling you about?
Was he in the bottom left-hand corner and looked a little bit
Yes.
crazy?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
He was in the bottom left-hand corner. Did that man look familiar to you in any way, shape, or form?
Was it Viva?
No. Again, no spoilers in chats, everybody. Hang on real quick here. We can just bring up a picture of him.
Don't you huff at me? I know you want to go to bed too.
And we're going to bring up a... Here we go. Here's a picture. I'm going to open this up in a new window. So hang on. Now, no spoilers in chats. Don't look at chat, Hayden, because chat's evil. Open image in new tab. Shut that tab. Shut that tab. Shut that tab. Boom, boom, boom. Bring this on up. This gentleman right here. Your browser has blocked your screen. My browser does a lot of things. This person right here. Who was the gentleman we were referring to? Doesn't ring any bells, does it?
Oh no, that's that's Kardashian. That's
That is Robert Kardashian,
It is
one of
Robert
OJ
Kardashian,
Simpson's lawyers. Yes,
yes.
one of the people that's responsible for most of the Kardashians, except for Khloe, and I believe her father may have been the defendant in this case. So the rumor has it, allegedly. This is the man responsible for the Kardashians. For those of you that did not know, this is Robert Kardashian, father of most of the Kardashians, at least, possibly all of them.
Yep.
Cough, cough, cough. Nonstop Mom, thank you so much for the super sticker. Deeply, deeply appreciate.
Close enough to another. Okay, last one. Then you got to go to bed.
Well, the snot zombie. Wow. Snot zombie with the $2 super chat. Yoda, being the window licker that he is, good boy. That's that's pretty much smartness for Yoda. He's showing his ability to lick windows. That's him. All right. Well, Hayden, thank you so much, sir, for being here.
No, not a problem. Thanks for having me. Guys, for those of you in chat that are my regulars, there likely won't be a regular show tomorrow morning. I do have to go and hit the Black Friday sales, so show later on in the day. Otherwise, shut up. Otherwise, the after party, LFL, starting 7 8 a.m. Eastern, it's close enough to 11 p.m. my time. Things are going to be a little bit iffy over the weekend because it's the wife's birthday on Saturday, and then Saturday night, it's Sauce Saturday, so I'm getting plastered and shoving spoonfuls of wasabi in my mouth. So make sure you pop by for that. But yeah, as always, people, you are not a piece of shit. You do have value and you do contribute to society, especially if you help Jeff out here. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Enjoy your time with OJ, and I shall catch you all on the flip side. See you guys.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. All right, it's just us. It's just us over here. I'm scrolling back through here, getting OJ re-queued. We've got about 30 minutes, 25 minutes of OJ. Is that how many do we have? Yeah, we got about, we'll call it 20 minutes of. I don't think if we miss a few minutes of her testimony, it's really going to crush anybody. So we've got about 25 minutes left. Mrs. Flux said it's the Buffalo Bills' fault for drafting OJ to start all of the Kardashian shit. It could be that too. Thank you for that, Flux. All right. So in the last 25 minutes we got here, 20 minutes or so, reminder, please hit that like and subscribe button. How are we doing in that regard? We got 176 people here. That's actually quite a bit for an OJ stream, and 153 likes. Thank you. And I can't do the math in my head here. Let's do it on Mr. Phone. Mr. Phone has all the answers. Got to do a conversion. Divided by about $157 for Chandler so far. Anybody that wants to give any super chats here in the last 25 minutes, it will go directly to Chandler Remington. And I said, I will cover the 30% that YouTube usually takes. So she gets the full value of the super chats. YouTube gets nothing. Well, they get nothing. I just get less. I'll just cover the 30% out of my back pocket. So Chandler gets the full value of the super chats, just to show my thanks to her on this Thanksgiving Day for all of the hard work and waking up at 4 and 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning to sit through these damn streams with me on OJ. So if anybody wants to contribute to that, please do. If not, hey, fair enough. All right. We've got OJ queued back up for the last 20 minutes or so. Which one? We don't. Part 6, part 10. That's what we need. Right, and in big in her, boop. She got the boop. She got the boop. All right, boom. Oh, now we gotta fuck with the volume and everything.
Say that you didn't have your crime scene identification checklist or any coin envelopes. Could have you?
All right, there we go.
Crime scene identification checklist and the coin envelopes in your sock.
Your sock?
Well, did you hide them somewhere on your person so that you could produce them later on when you got back to Rockingham?
Oh, shut up, Dick.
Overruled.
No,
Did you see Mr. Fung doing that?
no.
All right. Now, I'd like to take a look at Defense 1107.
Yes, he did. Then he started allegedly killing people, for which he was found not guilty and therefore exonerated.
Maybe we can see 15 and 16 a little bit better
Tiffany Ader.
at the bottom.
No, Bernice, you're the best.
Okay, that's fine. Now, on 15 and 16, did you write down any measurements as to where the items were actually located?
No,
Did you have your measuring tape with you at the time?
no.
With respect to the other items that were collected at Rockingham that are contained on this list, maybe we can just take a look at item number 1. Starting with number 1, that's the stain that was contained on the Bronco.
Correct.
And
The
even for
stain
that,
was
you have some
contained.
measurements.
Yes.
Do you have measurements for the other items that are
Is that a
contained on this
library
list,
card?
including
You should check
A,
that
B,
a
and
book.
C, which A and B, which were not collected?
Correct.
So the only ones that you don't have measurements for are 15 and 16.
Correct.
And why is that?
We didn't have our
'Cause we
measuring
suck.
tape with us.
The criminologist
So when
didn't
did
have
you
a
place
measuring
the
tape with her.
notations as to where those items were located?
When we placed the items themselves on the identification checklist.
Okay, thank you. Now, you said when you were walking out with the plastic bag that it appeared that the weight was concentrated in a part of the bag. What did you mean by that part of your testimony?
Objection, no.
I think she did.
Sustain.
Do you recall testifying in substance that the weight was concentrated in one part of the bag?
Objection, I missed it. Lead the
Sustain.
question also.
Was the weight concentrated in one part of the bag?
It appeared to be heavier in one area.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, if it was item 15, 16 and the photo ID cards, they really didn't weigh that much. And the weight I felt tended to be in one area rather than spread out over the whole bag.
Now, with respect to the photo ID cards at the Rockingham location, is it your general practice that after the items are collected, the stains, the card would be lifted up?
Yes,
Do you recall seeing a segment of videotape that showed Mr. Fung lifting up some cards in what appears to be the afternoon?
yes.
Do you know whether those were cards A, B, and C?
I don't know for sure which ones they were now.
Do you know for sure whether all the cards were down in the afternoon?
I don't know.
May I just have one moment, Your Honor?
Certainly.
Scroll in. Come on, let's do it. Talk.
I just wanted to show one more photograph.
Can we see it, please?
Well, I think it's already in evidence.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Which number is this, Mr. Goldberg?
48A. I direct your attention to 48A for identification. Does that depict photo ID number 112, item number 48?
Yes, it does.
And is this the perspective shot that you were referring to?
Yes.
Yes. That was a short answer
Thank
for
you. I have
her.
nothing further.
Nothing further.
No further questions.
No further questions.
All right, Ms. Mazzola, I'm going to ask you to collect the items before you return them to Mrs. Robertson.
get outta
You are now
here.
excused as a witness, however, you were subject to recall. All right?
Total recall. Kevin V. Clark with a 1999 super chat. Keep being
Time that we
awesome.
would
You
spend
keep
today
being
before the
awesome,
jury,
Kevin
I think
Clark.
We're going to call it quits for today.
There's $20 more going to the Chandler Remington Thanksgiving
All right, I do
Day
have a few
gift.
matters I
Thank you
wanna take up
fund.
with counsel, though, before we leave.
Oh, now he's going to talk to
All
the
right,
council.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you very much.
This is a little bit of drama. If this is what I remember it being, this is a little bit of juror drama here. Stay tuned for the juror drama. And again, thank you so much, Kevin B. Clark, for you being awesome.
Please remember all of my admonitions to you. Do not discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case. Don't conduct any deliberations till the matter has been submitted to you. Do not allow anybody to communicate with you with regards to the case. And have a pleasant weekend. I think I mentioned to you that we have other commitments tomorrow, council and myself. We will not be in session as far as witnesses are concerned. Tomorrow we'll start again.
So just sit in your hotel room and just hang out there through the weekend in your hotel room, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All right, have a pleasant
just
weekend.
Sit in your hotel room. Oh, and enjoy the outings. Yeah.
All right. And Ms. Mazzola, you may step down. And would you take those items, please, over to Mrs. Robertson?
Get out of here, Mazzola. All right, before we get into that, we can now end our poll for the day. Our like and subscribe poll for today. Mazzola is finished. 15% of you said, yay. I feel bad for her. 26% of you said, yay. On to OJ's closing arguments. And 27% of you said, yay. She deserved that cross X. And 30% of you with the number one answer for the day, yay. I survived the testimony. Yes, you did. You all survived the testimony. Thank you so much. All righty. We finished ANDREA MAZZOLA. Let's finish the day. We got 12 more minutes of
Let me ask counsel. I
drama.
understand that we're going to have Mr. Matheson as our next witness.
Maybe not.
All right. Are we going to need any of these items for him tomorrow?
Do I need any of these for him tomorrow?
Correct.
I mean Monday?
Excuse me, Monday.
Okay. I don't think I need them.
Mr. Who is going to be doing, Mr. Blazer, doing the cross-examinations to Mr. Matheson?
I am, Your Honor.
All right. Do you anticipate need of these for cross-examination?
I don't at this time, but I would request that the prosecution have available photographs of those items in case we do need at least.
See, now you hear Bob Newhart speak on the last day. Bob Newhart speaks.
Yes, she is so ordered. And they are in a sealed condition now, Mrs. Robertson. All right. Mr. Goldberg, did you hear Mr. Blazer's comment regarding the availability of photographs as to these items?
Sorry, Judge, I'm not listening
Did
to
you
you.
hear Mr. Blazer's request regarding the availability of photographs of these items?
Well, I think we probably have photographs of all of these items because they were sent out to the defense at Albany, and photographs were taken at those times, so they should have all of them. I do not know if we have photographs of the bindles of all of those items.
Wow, Bernice has been clean 9 years as of June 2nd. Awesome. That's congratulations on that. That is
well,
great.
whoever needs the photographs ought to have them here. I mean, do you have a set of photographs, Mr. Blazer?
We can check to see if we have. I'm not sure we have all of each individual item.
It's
my understanding.
Some going through to find them, but I think they're all there.
Okay. All right. We had one other item regarding the EAP issues on the demonstration board for Mr. Matheson. Do you want to, let's take that up now.
Well, Your Honor, I don't know whether the court had a chance to read our letter brief that we filed.
This
When did that get filed?
this isn't the drama I thought it was going to be.
Well, in case you hadn't noticed, I've been busy. All right.
We'll do that.
But there were also some other.
I have a session regarding this case tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
I wanted to raise, and I didn't have an opportunity before the close of yesterday's session.
All right. Well, let me ask counsel to be here then on Monday. at 8:30.
Clownsel. I like that. Clownsels. They're all just a bunch of
We don't want
clownsels.
any argument tomorrow, however. I mean, I'll be here.
No, why don't you file your documents? I've got
In that, I think once the court understands the technology and the scientific issues, that the legal issue will be.
Something of basic fairness. I understand that they've changed the order of the witnesses now because we had anticipated.
I don't think they're going to get to the
Now
drama
Mr.
that I was
Matheson,
thinking they were going to
the last thing we
address.
want to do because I want to go home. So I think it would expedite everything if we could have just as far as.
Hang on.
All right. Who do you anticipate coming from the DOJ?
To Dennis Fung. There's no further foundation, and even if the court were to require us to put it on some particular order.
That there's not a proper foundation, which is.
Order of witnesses, not important. Foundation for having experts.
objections, and we would appreciate some sort of.
All right.
offer.
Well, apparently they didn't deal with the drama that was there, but right there at the end of her testimony, there was a bit of jury drama where there was apparently some racial tension in the jury, and there were some issues that resulted in one, possibly two of the jurors being booted. I can't remember exactly. That's why I was hoping they would show it and clarify that, but I can't remember. There were some juror problems, and a juror got excused. I believe. I can't remember if the juror was black or white, but they got replaced with this Hispanic juror. I guess to kind of go somewhere in the middle ground. Right. Well, that brings us to Judge Ito has retired. This was 28 years ago. So yeah, he has since retired. His wife died during COVID. During the COVID years. All right, everybody, that wraps up OJ Simpson for this Thursday. That is where we stand. End of Andrea Mazzola. Next week, we will be doing closing arguments. We're going to just skip the rest of the trial. I think we're done with OJ. We're going to skip to the closing arguments from both sides. It may take 1 or 2 weeks to do that. Then we'll do the verdict stream. And then Chandler and I are going to pick up a new case, and we're going to take this one from beginning to end. It was a 3-week trial. It was a high-profile trial back in the day. Barry Scheck was involved with that one as well, as he was here. He was the one that cross-examined Dennis Fung. So he was involved in the trial we're going to watch. 3-week trial. We'll just watch that however many months it takes to get through that. Everybody, it's Thanksgiving. I am so grateful and so thankful to each and every single one of you guys here that continues to show up, especially for these niche streams like OJ and Maritime Monday. Deeply, deeply appreciate that. Everything you do is fantastic. And, I really, really, honest to God, can't thank you enough for being here and supporting mods, the work you guys do, the stuff you put up with, and the things you all organize. And just, my mods are the best mods on the entire internet platform, hands down. All my mods rock and roll and rule. Vice Squad chat, same with you guys. We're going to be doing in December a very moddy Christmas stream where we bring the mods on. We did that last year. You guys seem to like it. All the mods that want to participate can come on and hang out and chill. Coming up soon, I promised a members only stream. We're going to be doing that. So that'll be a bit of fun. I'm probably 3 weeks from now. If there's some time, maybe we can do a surprise one this weekend too, but we'll do a dedicated one. So we'll do a members only stream. We'll do a very moddy Christmas stream. The December F Friday stream will likely be on the 15th. 15th or the 22nd. I haven't decided which. Right. Again, Vice Squad chat. Thank you, chat. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for your support today. As we said, that we ended up with, what did we end up with? Let me do the math. Divided by roughly $177 for Chandler Remington for her dedication, her hard work. That's my Thanksgiving Day gift for her, is to send those her way. I'm going to be talking to her right now. I'll get the banking details and it'll go straight over to her. Thank you guys so much for your support, for the love you show her, the love you show me. We will see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for a very special Legal Vices. You're not going to want to miss this. The Maya Kowalski trial. The prosecution has filed, not the prosecution, the defense. They're not even a prosecution. They're not the plaintiffs. It was the defense. The defense filed a motion for a new trial based on alleged juror misconduct. Megan Fox will join me, and we're going to go through this motion Friday evening. We'll do it Friday evening time, about 8 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to start. So join me Friday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. That'd be 10 a.m. Korea time, which is like 2 a.m. UK time. Sorry, guys. And noon Canberra time. Megan Fox is going to join me. We're going to look at this bullshit motion to have a new trial based on jury misconduct. They're jumping on the YNW Melly bandwagon, going, jury misconduct. No, not the YNW Melly, the Murdoch bandwagon, and claiming juror misconduct. Misconduct motion for a new trial. We're going to go over it. We're going to look at some of the evidence. We're going to look at the exhibits. Megan Fox will be here, so join me for that tomorrow, Friday evening, U.S. time, 8 p.m. Eastern. That will be fun. Until then, we got one more coming in under the wire. Alabama Rose in the house. Coming in under the wire for our sweet Chandler. We love you, girl. Love you too, Jeff. You must join your own mod care nan. We have a blast there. I think you mean Discord. Is that what we're trying to say? Must join my own mod Discord? Nah. Let's get it over 200. We're there. I think you just did that. You got it over 200. Thank you, Kevin B. Clark, with the $5. You definitely got it there. That is that's put us over. Yep, we are officially over. We're at about $202. Dang, I need to. She'll be happy. Thanks, guys. Honestly, you guys are so super awesome. So join us tomorrow. Join me and Megan Fox tomorrow, Friday, 8 p.m. for the Maya Kowalski defense's motion, the hospital's motion for a new trial based on alleged juror misconduct. Until then, everybody, let's see where we can ship you guys off to. Who is streaming now? Let me pull this up. Who is live? Anybody live? Nicholas live? Somebody's live. Let's see. We went to Nicholas yesterday. If somebody else is live, let's send you to them. If not, thank you to everybody that liked and subscribed. We picked up 12 subscribers today during the stream. Like I said, we usually lose like 10. So thank you to everybody, probably from Biggin too. Biggin brother, if you're still here, thank you so much for that. All right. Live. Here we go. Customization. Redirect. And live now is it's not even live. Nobody's live. Nobody gets the redirect. All right, you're out on your own. Everybody fly. Be free. Go out into the wild. Enjoy your Thanksgiving Day if you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, just go to work. See y'all. Wait, Alan, what? Sorry. Wait, one more. Alan says, "Do you miss out on the Christmas? Why do you miss out on the Christmas party?" So I miss out on the members' Christmas party. I don't know. I'm not a member yet. People, give Alan your money. Give those memberships. We'll work it out. All right, everybody. We'll work it out some way. Thank you so much again for everything. This is the final time I'm going to say it. Mods, thank you so much. You're the best. Chat, you are the greatest. Chat, the Vice Squad chat is the best. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Lorax, saying whatever you do, whoever you do it with, make sure you enjoy your legal vices.